Hello everyone, welcome back to the final day of the Skyesports DOJO. Pokemon Unite Scrims, we are going to be witnessing 3 games in total. Semi-finals 1, 2 and the best of 3 grand finals. And again, it is going to be the grand finals that it's going to be a best of 3. All the other games, they're going to be a best of 1, meaning both are first 2 semi-finals. Best of 1. One chance to make it to the grand finals, and who is going to take the top spot is something that we are also wondering. Who could have an advantage, who could maybe turn this situation to an advantage in their favor. A lot of questions to be asked, but quickly before I jump into the tournament itself, let's take you over the brackets so far that we have seen. As you can see on the screen, the matchup is Helix Esports versus Team Iconic, our first game of the semi-finals. Second game is going to be Resonance Esports versus Team Zero Gravity. These are the 2 semi-finals, and the grand finals, I don't know which team is going to be heading. But based on yesterday's matches, I would maybe count Team Iconic. Played really well. We watched that match, Autobots versus Iconic. Really good comp, really good team composition, and it worked out really well for them. On the other end, when we speak about Resonance versus Team Zero Gravity. Now, yes, Zero Gravity had a close game yesterday after one forfeit matchup that they had a walkthrough for. But on the other end, Iconic also had the similar thing. Therefore, I feel like Iconic could take this advantage against Helix, but going to semi-finals 1 again, Helix defeated the first week's champion QRS in a round 1 stage and moved to the semi-finals. So Helix, you cannot count them out. We have not seen their performance. But hey, today's semi-finals 1 is going to be very interesting. Talking about semi-finals 2, I know I diverted in between. Resonance versus Zero Gravity, we saw Resonance matches, both the Levenger one as well as Matka Believers, and we could clearly see Resonance Esports. Once they take control of fights, once they know that they have an advantage, once they know who and which Pokemon to take care of, they don't stop. They win matches. Whereas on the end of Zero Gravity, after one forfeit walkthrough that they got, and then the next game was a close one with Blue Phoenix, we can't say anything much for them. But so far, this is what our brackets for the day is when we are starting things off. Interesting Pokemon choices. We saw some work, some did not. One thing for sure, at least in this week 2, it is the Suicune ban that we've been constantly seeing. In the chat, you guys can let me know which team you're rooting for. I'm excited to see today's game. We're going to be starting the Semi 1. Everybody is ready and set. It's just us who have to jump into the action. So why make you guys wait? Let's jump into it with the action being ready. It is the ban phase that we start things off from. Make sure you guys put up story for your friends who might be playing and a team that you would want to see winning. I will also do the same. Skyesports DOJO Pokemon Unite Scrims live right now. We are having our semi-finals number 1. Link right here. Join the live stream. There it is, the bans. The first ban, as you can clearly see coming in from the side of Helix. Oh, wait, sorry. Iconic on our left end is complete supporter ban, and the side of Helix, it is a complete all-rounder ban. And instantly, this is something that we've been constantly talking about. Iconic did this in their previous game as well, being very consistent and constant in their front line. To establish such a front line, Helix have come out with a Psyduck as well as a Blaziken. Early game from Blaziken is going to be very crucial. To wait and watch of how that works out, but strengthening the front line is Zindabad here with none other than Blastoise. And then a Mewtwo Y. Yesterday the Mewtwo Y did do wonders. That was a very interesting game. Towards the end of the final stretch, we even spoke about that, where I think it was Revenge. Let me quickly talk you through about the matches that were there yesterday. There was another team, Regnus. Was it? No. Iconic versus Autobots. Yeah. So I think Autobots had an opportunity with their Pokemon choice. They were having Urshifu, I guess. They were about to turn things around, but it was this Mewtwo Y's choice that we can see on Wolf. On the other end, to counter the Mewtwo Y, we have a Mew itself. Another legendary in the mix. But hey, here I don't think we've been having a big legendary advantage so far. Helix go for a Snorlax, which is interesting and very annoying, but to double this down and do hell lot of damage, they bring in an Inteleon, and top of that, I was not expecting this, a Talon. And now they have to find a way to keep these heavy hits going, so it has to be a wise decision of an all-rounder. And now I'm wondering, Helix might be even thinking, why did we ban all the all-rounders which are currently working in the circuit? Nonetheless, those are the final 10 picks that we are seeing. This is semi-finals number 1, a best of 1 action. Live right now. This is week 2's finals. In case anybody who's going to be interested to playing these matches in the future weeks, all you have to do is link in description. Join our Discord community server, and next upcoming matches, it will be updated. You will be notified, and make sure you get up with your teams. For now, I think Potion Psyduck, good decision. Ejects we can see from all the sides of players of Helix. On the other end, we can see it's a mix of eject, X attack as well on Mewtwo Y, which is really good. A lot of people don't use that X speed as well as full heal and eject. So I think again, in terms of comp, balancing things out might have been Helix, but keeping it ongoing in terms of heavy hits and strengthening their front line with a really good back line is going to be Iconic. Let's quickly talk you through the players who are playing in both of these. Helix has Slayer, Cryonix, Cloudy, Pharaoh, Rin and Naruto, out of which Cryonix, Rin, Slayer, Pharaoh and Cloudy are playing. That's the playing 5. Kid 77, Zindabad, Wolf, Magus. From Iconic with Chaos and Sinshan. Let's start this semi-finals 1. Early game for Talon. They will try to replicate the same thing with the Gibble. That should be the thought process. Umbreon really like this movement, early stack. Mew will also try to do that. Snorlax should get some. This is free Indeedee that they can get 5 Chaos energy on, and Kid is also doing the same. Sobble has finally made his way through, but I think Sobble a little late into this movement. Should be able to do some damage. Gets the last hit on the wild Pokemon. Does not let that Chaos energy be stolen. But constant scoring still happening on the end of Helix. Right from the get-go. Oh, they're all getting up for a top 4 fight. This could go wary. Psyduck is going to be the first prominent appearance. It is going to be a 4v4 on both ends. Mew is down. That's a big opener they found, and now they'll quickly jump on all of them. Big damage already done. One of them is low. Mean look used to stall them. Snarl as well, but Kid 77, he still manages to make way, get back. Chaos energy, which was planned to be stolen, will not be. Hello Frost Unite, welcome to the stream. Mimic, hello. Iconic 2 OP, Helix wins this. Let's hope so. Air on to you guys. Welcome to the stream. Fighting for this Chaos Energy, and it doesn't go. Burnelby picked up from the Toxic to evolve to a Combusking. A late evolution. Surprising to see that, as they did commit the Gibble to now evolve to a Gabite. Majority of the players of Helix all set and ready. But Iconic so far, they've been seeming good. Yes, goals started early, but right now you can see all the goals have been counted. And the triple digit has been reached. 40 seconds for the Regis to be spawned. And it is looking really good for Iconic. Their movement, their decisions, their Pokemon. It's only Inteleon who has to right now fully evolve. Other than that, even the Blastoise. And that's really good. Under 7 minutes if you're evolving a Blastoise, that's really good for your early game. Even the Regi game. Whereas on the other end, even still, the Gabite, even the Combuskin have to evolve, and especially them being your front line, and if they've not evolved, that's a problem I see that they might be facing. Inteleon's also evolved. Problem for Snorlax. Mewtwo Y Mega evolved. Big damage coming in the boosted attack, and that's a KO. Big scores to follow it up on the bottom path as well. They reached to 130 without any problem, and the bottom path fully in control. Easy take, and Blastoise on the top, a 1v3 fight, and still finds a KO on the Gabite. This is going insane. Iconic. They've caused the havoc here for Helix. They might have, in round 1, eliminated QRS, the previous week champion, but Iconic are here like, best of 1, it might have happened, but it's not going to be happening against us. Nice mean look, big surf, Blaziken's hurt, and then the Talon moves in, and the flaming sweep, KO, Blaziken's out, Gabite still not evolved, that's going to be a weak one for him. Snorlax comes in with a slam, but it is the job of the Talon. They find the second, make it a third KO. 2 survivors here. Finally, the Garchomp evolves, does have the Berserk that it can use its Unite, but health super low, gets the Citrus Berry to survive, but Mewtwo Y Mega evolves, breaks all the plans, chases them in their own flux zone, and Iconic is too powerful. Wondering what kind of a comeback Helix could even think of. There's nothing I can think of. I think Helix is getting peer pressured. Maybe. But this shouldn't happen for them. This is something that they have to control themselves. One more KO. Anywhere that you look where Iconic is, and maybe even an individual player or 2 players from the side of Helix, they're still getting KO'd. So far, no fights have been won from there. And big hit on the snipe shot. Another one being connected. Inteleon too good at this point. Again, big surf. Connects 2. And then the Cyburn. That connects most of them. Forced to use the Mystical Mirage. But they're doing the damage. The front line's destroyed. And Psyduck not looking good. Mewtwo Y Mega evolved. Unite being used from the Garchomp in vain. Gets put to rest. That's a 2 KO streak. Make it a 3 for the Blastoise. And they are running away on this game. Inteleon again. Those snipe shots. Namaskara, Shivatarun. Welcome back. Oh, this is out of hands. Out of control. I don't know what Helix will do. No steal. Heavy Slam was propped, but it did not hit the right mark. Blastoise Hydro Typhoon finds the KO on Blaziken. Snorlax is stuck. They're going to chase. Big Surf. They should find a KO. There it is, a second. Make it even the Psyduck. As this bottom path completely cleared, and an overdunk of 40. GG. So far, I'm not seeing any comeback from the side of Helix. This is a best of 1. They've even taken over the central area, and there is nowhere they can make a move. A level 10 Mewtwo Y is fighting with level 11 Garchomp and still finding a KO. Really good assistance coming in from Inteleon. That's all. They choose their battles. They back off on their own. There's nothing that the side of Helix can even think of doing here. This is why it's very crucial when you have all-rounders. Yes, they had to pack a punch, but evolution game. They did not bank on the evolution side of it. Garchomp Blaziken evolved very late into the game, caused big troubles. Flipping the Ray. Let's hope they do. Looking at how the battles are working, I don't see any flips, but at least they get one Reggie. That should give them an opportunity. Maybe take down Blastoise. They're trying to find value, but Flaming Sweep, this Talon at all times is present for the team. Overhit being cooked, but it doesn't find value. Snorlax is stuck. Again, a big surf. That's Garchomp down. Forces the players of Helix to back off. That's all they can do. Talon's looking not great, but manages to get away, and that is another KO they find. To KO one Talon, they tried with two of them, and they still couldn't KO the Talon, and the forces to the side of Iconic made their way back, and they were able to counter KO. Difference, just 200 goals, so even though this could go any direction, yes, if there's an opportunity for a Ray Flip, there could be an opportunity, they instantly turn it around. 20 seconds on the clock. They could have gone for the Regirock on the bottom, but looking at Umbreon, they have no intentions for any other objectives. Their only objective is Rayquaza now. Psyduck spotted, Blaziken spotted. And a Typhoon to check the tall grasses and force the players off. And look at how much control. Oh no, this could be big problems. Fly really used well. This is not a Brave Bird moveset that we saw yesterday. Surf dragged them into it. Hydro Typhoon in between. Big trouble. Cyber News. They're all low from the side of Helix. This could be a KO streak that we end up seeing. That's the second. Make it a third of them. It's only Snorlax and Garchomp. Garchomp forced to use the Unite. Snorlax used it previously, but there's the only two survivors. The others are on a cooldown. Make it both of them getting KO'd. This is done. Mew is back. Mew has not used the Mystical Mirage, but by the time it gets closer, it will be put to rest. There'll be no choice. Tried with a Solar Beam, but that fails all the shields in favor of Iconic. And this semi-finals won, and their chances of going to the grand finals, it is none other than Team Iconic, but they've not scored yet. There is 1 minute on the clock. However, shields have not been destroyed. Iconic's position was insane, Frost. And look at this chase. Trying on a 1v1 on Inteleon, and finally 1 KO from that Blaziken. I think so far we saw maybe 2 KOs or at max 3 KOs coming in from the side of Helix. And now make it maybe a 4 KO. Otherwise, there have been no other KOs, knockouts that we've been seeing so far. Look at how well that Psyduck got hit with the Surf. But still, they find value. Talon gets finally taken down. It was a menace. A 3v1 right now on Blastoise with the Rayquaza shield. There's no way you could find value. Finally destroys this. But Power Nap countered with a Hydro Typhoon, but really well blocked with that block itself. Late game strategies. A couple of scores, maybe 100. Yes, there's 100. Another 100 was scored prior to... No, there was not. He was about to score 100. He called in his teammates to score any score that is less than 80 and then went for 100. But I don't think it's going to be enough. There it is. It was not enough. They're already surpassed from 296 to an additional 300 goals. So for them to even get closer, they had to score close to 400, 500 goals. And with them not having much Chaos energy, there was nothing that they could bank. And as I said, it was only 4 total knockouts, guys. Only 4. I could count it on my fingers. That's how good Iconic played. That was insane game coming through. This is why I said, on the side of Helix, they might have played the balance card of their Pokemon choices. Right? They had 2 all-rounders, they had 1 ranged attacker, 1 defender, 1 supporter. Whereas on the other end of things, they wanted to make sure they establish a fortress of a front line. And the Blastoise and Umbreon played so good that even if they got closer to Mewtwo Y as well as Inteleon, there was talent to save. There was Surf, which was so good and really well used in terms of stunning the opponent. And this is our semi-finals 1. 83,000 damage from Mewtwo Y. Magus on Inteleon at 71,000 damage. And the only Pokemon who at least got to 50,000 is Garchomp Cloudy. Whereas everybody else, except for Kid, who was acting as the healer because he was also playing on the Wish move. All these made Iconic win this game really well. didn't ever count the supporters that they would have a problem on. On the other end, unfortunate, yes, you could see all of them surpassing the 50,000 mark on damage taken, but the ranged attacker should have done that 50,000 plus damage dealt rather than damage taken, and this could have been a different scenario. But early game, late evolution caused problem. That's all. Even if you take a look at the goals, started from the sides of Helix, but it then continued in the favor of Iconic. Movesets, really well played. Flame Charge, Fly being used. Chaos, Flaming Sweep used so very, very, very well. I mean, it was unbelievable in the timing and the opportunity that he was using them. So this is how it matters. This is how it counts, guys. What do you think about this matchup? Chat, you guys tell me. We'll quickly talk about the Pokemon in terms of their decisions as well. What a graph this is. 0 to 2 minute mark. We saw very early a goal coming in from that evolution Umbreon. Once that happened, from the 2 minute till the 10th minute, goals have not stopped. This is just a wonderful graph for any team who are looking to be consistent in the 10 minutes of a gameplay. Whereas on the other end, yes, they were the ones to get to 18. From getting 18 to 50 took them big time. Whereas from 9 to 140, big ups. They got the Regis, all the three of it from the start, except for the fourth one, which did go in their favor, but I did not see any use of that Regieleki off the top. Barely any scores, and especially when you have all-rounders, when you're going in with the attack weight setup, you have only one stack, and that too around the 6 minute mark, still sitting at one stack is not a great sight. You either bank on early evolution for your Pokemon which have to evolve, or go for early dunks, early goals. If you do that, your hits are going to be good. But for now, this is semi-finals number 1 that we witnessed. I want to quickly even talk with you guys about maybe how these teams could have maybe changed their choice of Pokemon, and it could have worked better for them. But while this discussion is happening, let's quickly go back to the scorecard. So Helix versus Iconic, a best of 1 comes to an end. Unfortunate for Helix, they could never establish their game even from the get-go, even though the early scores came through from their end, but it was not their stacking Pokemons who were playing the early scores. It was rather their defenders, their front lines, or their ranged attackers, which is not much of a value. But with that, yes, Helix might have played a different draft pick if I would have thought of, could have worked in their favor. I will also talk to you guys about that with all the Pokemons that we've seen. Let me show you all the Pokemons that are there. Guys in the chat, you guys can let me know what you think of the game so far. This was just the first semi-finals. We still have another semi-finals. That is going to be 2. So our first grand finalist with this is going to be Iconic. Maybe they want to be the icons at the end of the day. Could be a possibility. But let's quickly make our decisions of who could be the next Pokemons that could be used. Alcremie is a super new Pokemon, so I don't think we have to be worried about that. Absol, yes, I would like to see it. Aegislash. Now this is a Pokemon I hope they would have brought it. We saw Charizard in our week 1 of Pokemon Unite Dojo Scrims, so could happen later today. But let's talk about the supporters. I think yesterday we saw a brilliant cliffable game, even though certain times it does not work. It did work yesterday, right? So let's hope how it does today. If there's a cliffable, but Blissey is wonderful. Buzzwole, this is where I felt like banning Buzzwole, banning Suicune. Suicune has been, I think, a perma-ban from all teams that we've seen so far. So banning even a Buzzwole, I felt like that was the nail in their own coffin that they propped. And just a small nudge is all that was needed from the side of Iconic, and they just fell into it. There was nothing that they could crawl their way back up. I hope to see maybe even a Desi if possible, or a Delphox to cause trouble. We did see a really good Cerulege during our qualifiers for the Worlds. Here and there, certain teams. Dodrio, yes, as a speedster has tad bit fallen off. Main reason being the amount of stuns that we're seeing in the recent Pokemon choices that have been done, especially on the defenders. And you either get, like for example, Umbreon, right? You just saw Umbreon. who was with the mean look stops somebody, and that's problem. Once you're stuck, especially a Pokemon such as Dodrio, that's an instant KO for a speedster like that. And that's been happening quite often. Surf next, right? You get caught in the surf, you are drenched in it. You are stunned for a second, and that 1 second for a speedster is too costly. I hope to maybe see a Gyarados. I'm not playing today, but I'm counting on Hope and Desangel. All the best. Let's see if they are going to be able to make their move. Desangel, best wishes coming in from your teammate. We are waiting for him to join. Hope is already in and set. Mamoswine, we did see in week 1 games, could work out. I think Metagross as an all-rounder should also be a really good choice. These are the Pokemons who can change the game of play, right? When we see teams who generally pick up Buzzwalls, you know how Buzzwall is. You know the spread or the circle around which Buzzwall can function. It doesn't have big range, so you have to be super close. Whereas Metagross does not have to be. Yes, there is an opportunity of stunning, but it's not always the best. But with this discussion, we are ready for the next one. Let's jump right into it. It is going to be the second semi-finals. This matchup is between Team Resonance Esports versus Team Zero Gravity. Let's quickly introduce ourselves with both the teams before we start and discuss about their bans. Resonance Esports has Desangel, Fear, Ayush, Hope, Lemon/Momo and John Wick. This is the playing 6, out of which we see Desangel, Ayush, Fear, Lemon and Hope playing. On the other end for Zero Gravity, this team has Fiodat, Morbius, Hades, Ranger, RJ47 and Brook, out of which we see Hades, Ranger, Morbius, RJ47 and Fiodat playing today in this semi-finals number 2. Let's hope for us that your team Resonance Esports, who are on our left hand side, win. Otherwise Zero Gravity might have an opportunity. But the bans again, the all-rounders ban could be a problem. But here the ban of a support and an Umbreon looks really good on the defense. Therefore I think the playing cards are still open for Zero Gravity. With Blaziken becoming a first choice, I'm not too sure what the thought from Resonance is. We've been talking about this. Establishing your front line is very crucial. If this is like a fake being sold, if they want to confuse their opponents thinking that, hello, yeah, they banned Buzz again. Exactly. I'm wondering why teams are doing this. Suicune is still fine, but Buzzwall? Surprise. But here the first choice coming in Blaziken. If it's a fake, if it's just a fake being sold, that we don't want to tell you how our front line is going to look. Maybe okay with the Blaziken, but I would have maybe preferred any other all-rounders of a choice coming through. Could have even worked out even better. Serena in the mix, but I'm not too sure what their thought is. But on the other end, after these bans, we see instantly bringing out the Snorlax. Did not work in the previous game, but it's working together with a Psyduck. They're bringing back a Psyduck. We just spoke about the Aegislash, and the Aegislash is here with Armor Edge. I really like where Zero Gravity are heading in terms of bringing this outrageous, unthought of, unready picks. But in the mix as well, there is a Mamo. Yes, we see a Mamo pick coming through. Wait, Lemon? Is he going for the frog? He doesn't. He's thinking. There is this Angel. He is already soft locked on Leafeon. And Lemon goes in for the Inteleon. And their healer is going to be this Blissey. Oh, I really like the comp again going towards Zero Gravity. The awe that they're pulling me back in. Even though I like Inteleon being here. Mamoswine, also Pokemon that I quite often played before Dragapult. Really good choices. Leafeon also played numerous games with it. But this pick coming in with Snorlax and Psyduck as a frontline, wise choices. And then Armor Edge. We know Armor Edge is a very annoying Pokemon in terms of ranged attacker, and especially having opportunity to stun. I want to look at it, of how that works. Plus on top of that, the Sword, Aegislash, and then Hades on this powerful punching Lucario. It's going to be interesting, but stacking is going to be crucial for the Lucario. On the other end, for none other than Blaziken. Lemon has not decided to... Okay. Whew. There were no items from his hand. And I was about to be worried that where are his battle items? But with that, the choices have been done, guys. We have our 10 Pokemon choices. This is a matchup between Resonance Esports versus Team Zero Gravity for semi-finals number 2. And with this, we are waiting for our second grand finalist. The first one, Team Iconic, they will be waiting and watching this game. Let's see how it works out. Evolutions, let's quickly talk about that. We saw Evolution playing a big part in the previous semi-finals here. There's a Torchic, which has to evolve to a Blaziken, Swinub, which has to evolve to a Mamoswine, Sobble, which has to evolve to a Inteleon, and we see Eevee, which has to evolve to a Leafeon. On the other end, it is going to be the Honedge, which is to evolve to the Aegislash. And on the other end, Charcadet, who has to evolve to the Armor Edge. And therefore only 2 evolutions. So this could be a really good game if early evolution and early game control is taken over from the side of Zero Gravity. But Charcadet has not headed towards the central area, rather has headed towards the bottom. I would have maybe liked to see Charcadet on the top, maybe moving the Psyduck bottom. But for now, Lucario, quick move in, not much damage. The Leafeon's evolved and is already at level 5. That could be a problem. Big Solar, boink. You guys in the chat, do let me know. Do you think it's going to be Resonance Esports versus Zero Gravity in this matchup? Who's going to win this? Nice surf being used to push them away, but still many Eos energy collected, and 2 of their Pokemon are already at level 5, making a 4v fight. It's a 3 of them are at level 5. Surf again being used to push them away, and they've targeted. They found Inteleon, but no. Lucario gets found. 3 of them hammer him down, and Psyduck, he cannot protect this goal zone. Will try to surf and turf around. That's not going to be enough for him. Big stacks coming in. Inteleon did not stack, or did not score while his teammates were scoring, and therefore that 24 could not be scored. If he did, he could have gotten closer to his evolution, the final stage. But early game really good coming in from Resonance Esports, even though having highest amounts of evolution that they have to concentrate on. Duo Blade out right now. Charcadet evolved to the Armor Edge. So it's just 1 evolution, but Ice Fang could have done damage, but the Armor Edge with the stun stops it. And not much damage on the Aegislash. Overheat, damage, Inteleon trying to find a value. Drizzly could not land the last one on that Aegislash, and they instantly get back. Yep, Blaze early stack. But Lucario on the top path, 1v1s have been good. And Leafeon, not a wise decision to go against the Lucario, who's an all-rounder, and the punches are better. 71 to 61, close game, but the bottom path push, it could be a problem. Inteleon's evolved, but the damage is not enough. Mamo is the first one to fall down. Overheat being used here to try and stop, but Aegislash comes in, puts the shield up as well, and catches the Inteleon, and Inteleon should be put to rest. Missed the initial attacks, and that's Blaziken who takes advantage, and the Psyduck is not looking great. Psychic being used to buy some time. Surf as well to push the player off, but not pushing. Aegislash, and we're getting a KO. Make it 4 as well, as Psyduck also goes to, and it is gonna be a 7-minute mark. Regispawn, Regice comfortably taken away without even a slight nudge from the side of Zero Gravity, and early game not played well. Armor Edge trying his best, but I don't think he's gonna find value here. A Spiral Flame Wheel established, but the damage is better. Rather than playing a ranged attacker, he's playing a close ranged and not banking on the front line, and therefore these KOs are going to follow. Nothing that the Aegislash could do. His sword is not going to save him. His shield is not going to save him. This Blaziken, as you rightfully said, Frost, that early stacking. And this is why we talk about the stacks when you have an attack weight. And now it's completely stacked, ready. It might be a soft or a low destruction on that overdunk of just 18, but doesn't matter. They're already sitting at 167. Double the amount of goals where Zero Gravity are. Again, look at that. Whenever using that close range moves, it's always going to be a problem. But Aegislash, that Sword Strike is working. Missed the Talon, missed the Solar Blade. But still, somehow tried to find 1 KO, but the Inteleon was better. with Blaziken making a move. Fire spin of no value with the front line being only Snorlax. Block being used to tank that damage for now. Again fire spin, but Snorlax is not looking that great. Psyduck is here, but by the time Psyduck was going to be got KO'd. Front line is gone now. Armorage has to play a little wary. And this Blaziken is so heated up. He's like, you might have fire as well, but my fire is burning brighter than ever. Should have found value over there. But countering with two Pokemons doing damage, Blaziken went down. Mamoswine as well, who's still not evolved, mind you. Mamoswine is the only one who has to fully evolve on the side of Resonance. Finally, it could be this first Reggie that they make a grab off, and it works. Leafeon KO'd. This could be an advantage. Blissey does not look great, and it does work. Power Nap used well to force them off the angle. They should look forward to overdunks. They're waiting for it. Only a dunk of 40 because of their early score. They knew they couldn't do much about it. Big damage. Aegislash trying to get away, but the eject works. Aegislash put to rest. Resonance Esports. They are finding value. Inteleon on Snorlax, and the last Solar. Boink. Gone. Psyduck is only going to be crying Sayayay in Nurse Joy's Pokemon Center. Sayayay. It's nothing. Bottom Reggie spawned again. But the goals have gotten somehow closer. 192 to 142, especially because of that 40 dunk. Mamoswine's evolved, but the Ice Fang did not do much damage on the defender. Blaziken dragged in with a Psychic, forcing off to their Flux Zone. Overhit being used. Nobody gets in the target. Quick spiraling kick being used from the Blaziken. Right behind them, Bliss assistance given. This could be an advantage, but Sayayay, the Unite being used. Armorage as well to help out, and Leafeon comes in, and Leafeon finds the first. Aegislash is down with Snorlax. That's a front line down. Lucario is not looking great, and Armorage right center in between, trying to go on a 1v1. Not a great sight, does the damage. Leafeon finally put to rest. Blaziken still fighting in the Flux Zone. This play might be bad coming in from Resonance Esports. They should read this. They should just back off for now. But they're still making waves. Big damage again still from this Blaziken. He's looking forward to a KO. Armorage is down. What a play from this Blaziken. This Angel. Unbelievable stunts coming in from his end. And you have to give it to Ayush with his eggs. That is protecting his teammates time and now again. Look at this. Psyduck is not even getting closer. Again dragging in with the Psychic. Yowza, this is gonna hurt. Yeah, that's what. Blaziken should have not gotten KO'd. He did not get KO'd, so did not give away much level. So there's still some fight left. One final hit. And it is going to be Blaziken again on the top. Regieleki. Snorlax powered to a snap. For now, Unite being forced with less than 10 seconds left. This could be a problem. Countering with another Unite. It is Aegislash and Mamoswine put to rest. Snorlax finds on Blaziken. Just before the final stretch, even Blissey put to rest. They've caught the Inteleon as well, so Inteleon cannot run away. It will be KO'd sooner or later right now as they're chasing him. Spy Vision activated. I don't know why. He could have saved it. And for now, players are getting reset. Leafeon is the first one back into action. Aegislash is not looking good. This could be an opportunity. Emerald 2 steps saving that Unite worked. Aegislash is down. But still, it is going to be Zero Gravity who managed to grab the shield. Lucario's instantly making a run for it. The shields, all of them in favor of Zero Gravity. Wait, Lucario's shield's been destroyed. Nice play from Disangel, but there's still 3 more shields. One of it scored with a 200. Make it to 300 on the Snorlax. There's still one on the Psyduck. Shield 1 destroyed. Sorry, Armorage and Psyduck both have a shield. Armorage, I think, was spotted from Disangel. Goal still close. It's 292 to 342. Even having a goal advantage did not work. The final stretch just before it, the final fight that the side of Zero Gravity played. Oh, Armorage, that's big 50 that he has. Waiting and hiding in the tall grasses. But 50 seconds on the clock. Leafeon has to check. He doesn't check. Shedinja, what? Oh no, Amaraj might have made a big mistake. He uses the Unite to do much damage, but fails. The damage does not connect well. Otherwise, it could have been a KO trying to destroy the shield. The shield should be destroyed and it works out. That's all they needed. The shield's destroyed. The bottom path push is something that they're going to be banking on. Score something here. Leafeon finds a KO. This is the closest game. 30 seconds on the clock. Aegislash again using the Unite. Can it find value? It's out of its flux zone. It's out of its gold zone. This should be a KO on the Aegislash. They bank on it. Aegislash is down. 300 is the score. A difference of 40. Lucario is the only savior. Snorlax moves in. Somebody has to goal. 15 seconds on the clock. 10 seconds. The power nap denying them from scoring, but a big 44 and an 88 was about to be scored. It gets scored. 88 to next another 80. That was 160 plus goals with less than 5 seconds to go. Resonance Esports. Oh my god. This was supposed to be a fun watch party. It was supposed to be a fun cast. What did they just do? That was bad from Resonance, but that was great for them to make a comeback. Yowza, that's gotta hurt for Zero Gravity. First, I got worried for Zero Gravity, them committing their Unites very early. Aegislash, Snorlax, Armor Edge, Lucario, all of them committing their Unites, even the Psyduck, right? And they find value. They get an opportunity. They get to Rayquaza. They secure Rayquaza. A couple of from the side of Resonance also committed their Unites, but some of it was still saved. Leafeon's Emerald 2-step, that worked for them. And then a couple, and Disangel, you don't even have to worry about the Unite. It will keep resetting after every 7 to 10 seconds, and that's an advantage for Disangel. 16 KOs. 16 knockouts coming in from Disangel on that Blaziken. Insane performance, and you have to give kudos to Ayush. Look at that, 12 assists. He was the major chunk for why Disangel on Blaziken was able to do that. But yes, a little bit of an overextension at the 3.5 minute mark, where they all decided to fight in the flux zone of Zero Gravity at goal zone B and continuously kept giving the levels away, experience away, and that was the reason the top path fight after getting the Reggie was turned around in the favor of Zero Gravity. They played well. They decided that doesn't matter, the final stretch is about to start, we're going to use our Unites, commit into the battle, and they committed really well. They had to hard commit. However, the final change, the final flip, Mobius, I think big nerves dropped from Mobius on that Armor Edge. Tried to play best, and you could see 51,000 damage tanked with his Fire Spin moveset. That he was playing Fire Cannon would have been something that I would have loved, but he thought about anybody getting close, let them get the fire damage, and then he look about his teammates trying to help him out, and they did try their best. But I think that final game was in hands for Mobius. Mobius just played it a little too early for going in for that score. Leafeon did not spot him. One small minute mistake from there and broke the game apart, and especially even Psyduck. I think Psyduck should have stayed, had the shield, should have picked up a couple of Air's energy here and there and went for a score. Could have worked. The difference is not much. It's just 120. The last 180 goals coming in from the side of Resonance Esports is the reason they won. Unbelievable play. Yeah, this Resonance, very good. Early game stacking, we spoke about it, had 2 stacks, worked out really well in his favor, nothing much to be worried about. Constantly kept scoring as well when he was a little Torchic to a Combusken and then to a fully evolved Blaziken, and his Unites was also ready with at the very early go. Overheats being used really well, but that last few scores, it was not just 180, it was 180, 240 goals scored at that last 2 minute mark, 80, 80 and 80. Brilliantly played, as you can see. But on the other hand, I think Zero Gravity, little bit of a mess up. I think they feared time, because their early game was also good. Look at till the 6th minute mark, they were not too far away. Yes, they a little bit of a gap happened at 82 to 167, a difference of double. But once we reached the 6th minute marker, that's when we saw 192 to 142, which was a difference of only 50. Right, easily played, and that was played to an entirety of 2 minutes from 6 to 8 minutes mark, meaning both the teams kept that fight very insane. Yo, that's gonna hurt, guys. That's gonna be A little for the side of zero gravity. So close they were, but missed and messed up a little. One second. Let me go to the brackets now that we have all our not this. Okay, finally both are opening. That's why I was getting confused. Okay, with that, we have our finalists, Team Iconic and Resonance Esports, and this is a very interesting battle. This is going to be an insane game between these two. This is going to be an insane battle between these two. As we can quickly take a look at the bracket, right? Iconic and Autobots Esports, very close game. Then Iconic just ran away with it. Then they got a walkover. After that, a fight with Helix and Iconic, very close game again. And Iconic showed their resilience, showed their power, and played that game really well once they understood there was a weak spot on the side of Helix Esports. Quickly talking about Resonance Esports, we saw Resonance's games completely from round 1, round 2, and then semi-finals, and now they're making their way into the grand finals, which is going to be a best of 3. Resonance Esports, 780, big scoring game. Then again against Matka Believers, big scoring game. Again zero gravity, even though they lost the Rayquaza. If there was even a little bit of a decision that maybe the rape flip would work, it kind of worked. But Resonance Esports were quick to act on it. I think Lucario, who was the first one to make a run towards the goal zone, forgetting all about his teammates, did not go through because Blaziken had jumped towards the goal zone B on top and denied. And the Lucario had nowhere to go. First the shield being destroyed, then the Blaziken on a 1v1 completely KO'd that Lucario, and there was nothing much from there on. The Resonance Esports have shown us what resilience means. Whereas on the other end, Team Iconic have showed us one thing, what team game means. Both the sides, they play on one crucial factor is control. I want to see when two control masters play in the grand finals of the Skyesports DOJO of Pokemon Unite Scrims Week 2. What's going to happen? This is going to be an interesting battle. We did see a Buzzwole ban, we did see a Suicune ban, we saw support bans and a defend ban on Umbreon, and now it being a best of 3, it could go anywhere. Hope misclicked on Solar Blade. No, it worked out for him. It did damage for Aegislash, who was in the center, and then he just went in for the Emerald 2-step. You're talking about maybe, yes, the final hit, but I don't think that should be a problem. Final hit is very tough to get that, especially on Rayquaza. It's still finer in terms of details that we generally see when the battle strikes upon the Regis on the top and bottom. It's a tad bit easier to figure out the final hit. But in Ray, it's very tough because of the numerous players who are all jumped in. It's a cluster. And even though you think that maybe that Solar Blade could have done the damage, the Solar Point could have been better, maybe the Snorlax's body slam was just enough. You can't say anything. I wouldn't beat him, but I think Hope was the reason that he bought at least a tad bit of time after putting Aegislash down. If Aegislash survived in that battle and got the Rayquaza shield, this game could have easily gone towards zero gravity. Even if Lucario's shield was destroyed, Aegislash would have helped and instantly countered the KO on Blaziken, and they would have scored on Goal Zone Goal Zone B on top, Goal Zone B on bottom, and then just went to the base Goal Zone and scored a little more as well. That's where the game changed, guys. That was the situation if Aegislash was not there. It's very crucial, these minute things. But with this, we have our call for the grand finals, which is Team Iconic versus Resonance Esports. It is going to be Resonance who on game number 1 win the toss and decide to even go for the first pick decision. Milo, welcome to the stream. Hello, it's nice to see you. Air on to you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. We are doing the Skyesports DOJO Pokemon Unite Scrims. Hope you're doing well. How are things at your end? Game 2, Game 3 is going to be depending on the losers of the previous games. Meaning game number 1, whoever loses has the opportunity to call the toss, whether they want to go for the first pick or the second pick. It's up to them. But for now, Resonance, they win the toss and they go for the first pick, which was also what they did in their game right now in semifinals number 2. But we should be getting back in the game. I have a confirmation. We should be jumping back into the game. The players are ready. Once we are in the ban phase, I will quickly take you there. Scrims में prize pool होता है क्या? Let me quickly check. As far as I know, 1 second. No, there is no prize pool. There is going to be leaderboards that they'll be a part of. जो leaderboard मैं end में दिखाऊंगा. There is no prize pool for scrims because this is open for all and free for all scrims. There's nothing in terms of a prize pool. Just like you. Okay, while we are waiting for this, let's quickly talk about what other Pokemon choices could we witness this time. Right, I already spoke about maybe something new. Armor Edge was brought into the mix. Yes, did not work out, unfortunate for them. But Mamoswine was brought into the mix. Mamoswine, however, did work out. So it's about, I think, just a tad bit of fine line of figuring out which works out really, really well. I hope to see another one. Alolan Raichu is something that has not yet still fine for some practice. Yes, big time. That's the reason. Debashwini, if you're looking forward to playing matches in the future, link is in description of the Discord server. Join the community server. You can play Gyarados. Yes. You guys tell me also in the chat. I would want to see a Gyarados. Yes, I would bank on it. The Dragon Breath and Bounce maybe coming in the mix could do wonders. Glaceon is something that I've seen fallen out. Glaceon is like sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's very weird to see Glaceon making random. Don't worry, Debashwini, just join the community server. You will find people playing. You can connect with them, as Frost Unite is right here, right? His team is playing here. But he's not playing. So you could just scrim a couple of games with him, tag along with him, just talk to people whenever you're on the chat, whenever you're on the Discord server, and you can do it. Wait, even Absol in the top of the build list? No, this is as per the lettuce. It is not a top tier Pokemon. If you want to go to the tier list, here is the tier list. Absol comes at A+. It's not at completely top. Raichu, I never saw Raichu coming into competitive. Raichu individually is still good. But competitive, I still fear for Raichu. Again, a ranged attacker that people have to figure how it works out. I'm hoping for a Zacian? Maybe? I'm subbed out. Exactly. But I'm saying Debashwini could play with you in the future. Or play with anybody for a fact. I want a Serena. We saw a Trev yesterday. We saw a Aegislash. You've seen Buzzwole. Gengar could be interesting. Meowscarada could be interesting. But Meowscarada, I feel like people have kind of found a counter. Even though Meowscarada's moveset that they've used this double team, they still managed to make it work. Nisha Sharma, welcome to the stream. Air on to you as we are ready for the ban. Let's jump into the game itself right now. This is the grand finals game 1 that we are going to be watching between Resonance Esports versus Team Iconic. Quick introduction for both the teams. Resonance Esports played by Disangel, Ayush, Fear, Lemon and Hope, with them having John Wick on their end as well. And Team Iconic represented by Wolf, Zindabad, Chaos, Magus and Kid 77, with Sinchan also on their team as the 6th. This is our playing 5 with their team completely. Blaziken should be A+ or S tier. No, Debashwini. You saw one game which was phenomenal from Blaziken, but there are better all-rounders out there which do a phenomenal job. So that was one of the games for Blaziken. Things could have gone vary if that early evolution did not come through for Blaziken. Oh, sorry, I just shocked about my main in build list, so sorry. Yeah. This is just another site where all the Pokemons are shown. So certain times it depends. is based on the people playing, it is ranked. But we'll quickly talk about finally a permaban Suicune picked up. I want to see how the Suicune is played. Very fewer competitive games I've seen. But before we jump into the picks, let's talk about the bans. Psyduck and an Inteleon ban. That's a smart move coming in. They know what Inteleon is capable of, forcing the opponents also to find a new ranged attacker for this competitive grand finals game 1 is interesting. But not banning Umbreon, giving that chance away and them establishing it with a true bro, Slowbro, and Slowbro is a phenomenal defender. And look at what Iconic have done. They said, no supports for you. Figure out what you'll do. No healers at all. We saw a little bit of a hint of a Hoopa, but they went for a Snorlax, clearly telling us that they want a front line to be established with another choice of Blaziken along with Suicune. So this is their complete front line. I don't think there'll be any more all-rounders coming in from the side of Resonance Esports. And people who are just tuning in, Resonance Esports are on the purple side. They won the toss and got the chance of first pick. And it is orange side for the side of Team Iconic. And Team Iconic, I really like where they're intending to. This is not a Pokemon, a ranged attacker we've seen much. A legendary Miraidon in the mix. I want to see how this plays out. Miraidon ended up becoming a norm early 2025. Yo, Sai, welcome to the stream, my friend. Blazy can be counterable if stopping its stack. Exactly, not just the stack. If they're able to just stun it while it's in any of the movesets, Blaziken's done for. And with the last decision coming in with Lucario as well as AG Slash, 2 all-rounders on both the end. But it's going to be only a single defender compared to a double all-rounder setup. So I like the front line being better. And Miraidon should make use of this completely. But to just take this Miraidon, I can see Lemon picking up the Talonflame with the help of Hoopa. I don't know how valuable Hoopa could be, but Hoopa has to be very, very, very specific. Very specific in its hyperspace holds. That's when it could help its teammates to reset in an instant and then quickly get back into action for the next fights. But my eyes are completely on Hope with that Suicune. We saw Disangel already breaking norms, breaking the roof barrier of 131,000 damage. Let's see what he does. And this is the grand finals with all of them ready. I like the balance coming in from Team Iconic. I think that's something that Team Iconic have always done in their games in terms of balancing each other out. Whereas Resonance, they plan for their early game and early evolution. I'll watch party for you. Thank you so much. I'm confused. Go for it. Sue! Sue! Yes, let's go. And this is Grand Finals Game 1 between the purple side Resonance Esports versus Team Iconic on our orange end of things. The Starchick has to early evolve. Honage on the other end also has to look for early evolution. While this is happening, quick talks about the early evolution. There's even the Talon which has to evolve. The Torchic also has to evolve. On the other end, it is the Eevee, Slowbro and Aegislash who have to evolve. So it's 3 versus 2 in terms of the evolution game. Last time it was the other way around. It was a 3 versus 2 with a lot of players from Resonance. Surprising that the Fletchling made its way to the bottom path. But there's an invade. There's an invade happening in the central area as we speak. But the Combuskin still manages to evolve. It'll not let that Umbreon steal the Excavalier on top. No, for me, Su is a short form for a footballer out there. An iconic one. Let's see how Suicune works. I think we saw a Suicune in our round one, not yesterday. I think in our week 1 games of the Skyesports DOJO. Very good push of a 4-man coming in, but there could be a KO. Umbreon very close to a KO, but they find it on Hoopa rather. A little bit of an overextension from Hoopa and the electric terrain being established from Miraidon. That's very crucial and really like that passive coming in. You are right, Debashwini. I really like the electric terrain passive on Miraidon. That's a game changer of a move. Big damage. Fletchinder could find the KO, but the mean look What a trap that was. And the Umbreon also makes a run away. Hoopa is still trying to chase it. But I don't think Hoopa will have an opportunity because the teammates are closer. Whoa, wait. Still the fight's going on. Finally, Fletchinder puts a KO, puts him to rest. That's Nurse Joy's Pokemon Center that he'll bank on. But quickly traded on Hoopa again. Hoopa is getting KO'd time and now again. Duo Blade, overheat ready. Overheat hit. And that should be a KO. It does happen. Unfortunate, the numbers were better and the Blaziken couldn't counter and find the KO. I thought it could be a KO for Aegislash, but with this, it is going to be Aegislash that evolves from the Duo Blade. And Miraidon is finding value now, and again, it just needs Eos Energy. Suicune scored on the top, instantly reset, and now making its way to the bottom path. A little bit of stacks here and there that's happening. Same, I have a pilot style Talon holoware as well. Well, that's the best holoware, and especially imagine that was given away for free based on your fashion cards? What is it called? I forgot. Fashion tickets, yes. Reggie spawn, it is the Reggie battle, and what a quick take. No control from the side of Resonance. They could even get closer. A quick nap and Snorlax, that's the rest. Directly in the Nurse Joy's Pokemon Center. Suicune also forced off. This charge beam is too good. Hoopa will also be KO'd. Try to run away. Does not work. But however, Blaziken turn things around as it gets the top Reggie. But this Talon getting KO'd. Battles working out brilliantly in favor of Team Iconic. Oh no, this could be an opportunity. This could be some experience they could bring up. But it's going to be a Hoopa and... Ouch. Punch being used. Aurora Cannon to escape. Power up punch being used. Big hit on the Snorlax. But I think now Lucario is stuck. Slowbro tried. But I think Slowbro making a quick getaway. So much time is being wasted while the other players from the side of Iconic are just leveling up. They're getting the wild Pokemon for themselves. They're scoring. And these guys are inclined on this battle just to get a KO. 3 to 4 of them. Finally that changes as they get one. Look at this. Again a stack. Talon a little late into this. Sacred Sword. His intentions were not banking on the Talon, rather just getting Eos Energy. Fly missed. Oh, this is a good hit. That should be a KO on Blaziken. And there is the Midnight Jump coming in. Stealing all the shields. Fly being used again. Could be an opportunity to pull it back. But nice Phantom Force used on the Talon to bring it back. Whirlpool sent. Aegislash with that quick reset and a move finds one on Snorlax. Suicune so far have not found much of a value. But the battle is, yes, close. Goal Zone A, one on bottom and one on top has been destroyed. But it is on either ends. Flame Sweep used. Not much of value. Lucario is back in his place. Still trying to find where the players are. They quickly hit a reset. Whirlpool, barely any damage. Hoopa stuck again. Anytime that the Hoopa is stuck, there is no battle that the side of Resonance can take. Regis have spawned. This time the Blaziken goes for the bottom Reggie. Aurora Cannon charged. A KO found. Snorlax, the front line's destroyed. Icy Beam used. But no value still being found as they destroy the Goal Zone A on top. Talon made a move, but it gets KO. That's all. The Sacred Sword finding value. Hoopa rings unbound, but it is not unbinding anything. There's just KO streaks that the side of Team Iconic are pulling. Only one to kind of push the forces of Iconic back. Whereas Iconic, their plan is clear. The heavy slam a little too late coming in from the Snorlax, and the Snorlax is stuck right now. His teammate Blaziken making a move only to get KO'd. And then the Snorlax. That's another feint. None of these attacks working. Slowbro is not a Pokemon that you could find a KO as easy as you could think. Hoopa again gets stuck in the charge beam first, then the Sacred Sword. 3 minutes 30 seconds on the clock. And the score still close. There's nothing in terms of score that is giving a win to either of these teams. Again caught. This time it's the Talon. Flaming Sweep. stuck in the mean look and used. 3 minutes. This could be the last opportunity to use and commit your unites. Electric terrain again deployed. Snorlax and Hoopa forced to back off. So far, Miraidon's playing a phenomenal game and none of these players could do anything against it. Another fight breaking out. Blaziken this time converts. That was smart. They could find another one here. Umbreon, but uses the mean look, and that is on Blaziken. And the damage dealers, the front forward hitters, are the ones who are getting stopped from the Umbreon. Phantom Force again used. They're all queuing up for the bottom Reggie. There could be a battle, all-out unite battle. Now it's too late to use those unites. Talon looks like it's stuck, but the Phantom Force helps again. Reggie spawns on the bottom, but they all decide rather not to play that battle and move back. It's time to get up for the last and final battle. 5 seconds on the clock. Who charges up? Who takes advantage of it is something that we have to look forward to. Initial damage and control coming in from the side of Team Iconic. They have control over the central area. Coming in with the fly did not do anything. And they've already started. Meteors also being dropped from the Miraidon. The last hit is where we look forward to. One last hit and it's the Snorlax with the power nap. An instant given away. Wait, what? What? Their own team got it. Resonance. Wait, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, guys, it was the other way around. I was thinking, why Resonance it ended over there? It was not Resonance. It was Iconic. Instant. That was not great. Still, it was the other way. Yeah, I mean, I got confused for a second when it turned out to be purple. Damn. That was a quick exit coming in from the side of Iconic. After having such a good game, they could have turned things around. They shouldn't have worried about it. That was weird. Look at this. 5, 6 knockouts at max is what they were able to pull off. Could have actually played the game out. They had a little bit of time. They had their unites as well. It was also them starting the Rayquaza battle, and Snorlax just played smart into it. We could see great damage coming in. As you can see, Chaos already at 11 knockouts. And then on top of it, Magus with 12 assists. They got tilted. Yeah, that was a tilt exit. Iconic should have focused on defense. Big time, Ishwar. They should have. This was an opportunity they had. Iconic, that was too early of a give up. I mean, okay that you lost it. The power nap threw you in a spiral. You couldn't use your own movesets. It got stunned, locked out. You could not do much for that second of that power nap as soon as it got used. But it was not like the time ran away from you guys. It was not like you were out of the game. You couldn't have had an opportunity. Let me quickly check. I don't think it was too late into the battle. You still had time. At least a minute on the clock. And you had an opportunity of destroying their shields as well. Yeah, less than 30 seconds the Rayquaza was secured. So there was still 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock for the final stretch. Look at that. Look at that. It never went across that 8-minute mark. So there was still a lot of time. If they got KO'd in an instant, as soon as the Rayquaza shield was taken, then maybe they could have thought of controlling it on the other way around. But otherwise, very close game. Really well played from both the teams, and I think this should be an opportunity for Resonance to bank on misfortunes or mistakes coming in from Iconic, especially the tilt. This should be a hint on trying to do it again. And especially this being a best of 3, there is, yes, Iconic have a second chance, but Resonance Esports, as I said, their resilience is on par to anything else, and they've been wonderful. In terms of Pokemon choices, I think there was nothing crazy, but we did see an Aegislash. Yes, it's a best of 3. Wow, that was indeed a close game. It could have been better. It could have actually gone closer till we ran out of time, but a very early surrender done. And the grand finals, it's only the grand finals that it's a best of 3. They were dominating the final stretch fight too. Exactly. It was just the Rayquaza shield which was stolen from their end. They could have won and destroyed the Rayquaza shields. Miraidon was there. Yes, Miraidon's Meteor was used very early on that Unite. But Electric Terrain still something that they could have banked upon, could have found value. And their front line was flawless. So there was a lot. Mean Look was hard countering. Exactly. That Mean Look was stalling them. Blaziken couldn't do much. Talon couldn't do much. It was stopping them in their path. So this could have been a long haul that they could have played for. Tough, guys. Certain times things are too tough to handle. But yes, that was our game 1 of the grand finals' best of 3 that we just witnessed. Going back to the Pokemon list now. While we wait for the second game to be queued up and started. Nice. Yes, this is just one game. We might have 2 more games. Depends on if the next game is closed off by Iconic. If it does not get closed, then it is going to be Resonance making their move, making their mark, and they will top the leaderboard as well. And I'll give you a quick debrief of how the leaderboard works, what the current leaderboard stands at with the week 1 where QRS won yesterday. In week 1 where QRS were the champions, how it would change in week 2. Now again, as QRS won in week 1, they will be in the leaderboard, and whoever, whether it's Resonance or Iconic, one of them will also be joining them on the leaderboard of the Skyesports DOJO Pokemon Unite Scrims. Now, how will the first, second, third, all of these be categorized? How will be the sword, heart, shield of the team be decided? I will walk you through once the grand finals is done. But I was just talking about the next set of Pokemon choices. We wished for an Aegislash in the mix. In the previous game, it did not do much. Excuse me. Now it could do a lot more, and it did. Buzzwole still not used, but we ended up seeing a Suicune. Did not find much of a value, but was enough to cause a little bit of a trouble in the end game, which tilted them to go for a surrender. Dodo, as I said, you just saw what happened to Talon. Dodo, it's even worse. Talon at least has Fly to get away. Even though it got fainted a couple of times, Talon could still make a comeback. Instantly, it used to jump, it used to use the moveset Fly and find another safe spot, reset and get back into action. But Dodo, no opportunity as that. Jump kick, if it lands, if it does not land, then it's done for. Maybe a Machamp. We saw Lucario. Lucario was good. We already have been seeing Mewtwo. Miraidon was brought in, which is wonderful. Ninetales could have been a norm, but Ninetales in the recent times, it has not worked well. I want to see someone play Mew. Mew was played in the previous games, but it did not land well. Sableye was a hint that Resonance did show us, but it did not fall through. They decided rather to go for a ranged attacker and then from there play forward. Scyther, yesterday we did see in our week 1 games. Slowbro being used, a defender which was not seen so far. And Slowbro is a wonderful Pokemon. It is insane in terms of a decision. It is very, very tough to KO a Slowbro. And it worked out so well for them. I think the Slow Beam, if it was used on Snorlax, could have worked out in their favor, but the timing of it all, you cannot bank on it, and it's very tough to lock on Snorlax itself and then use the Slow Beam as the Unite. Maybe a Sylveon is a little hard, very squishy, that is there, but maybe a Sylveon. Zoroark should be a Pokemon that teams should think about. Zoroark with a really good support Pokemon could drastically change this game completely. So right now, we have to wait and see what decision strikes upon the sides of Team Iconic. Do they go for the first pick choice or do they go for second? Slow Beam was used on Blaziken. That's what I'm saying. If it was used on Snorlax. Now, we already saw Blaziken's value was not that much in this game. Barely anything to kind of counter on Blaziken. They never gave space for Blaziken. Did not do much of the stacks. So Blaziken, after seeing Blaziken's game in the start of things, putting it on Blaziken wouldn't have been the wisest of choices. They could have gone for Snorlax. They could have gone for anybody else. But for now, we have an update. So it is going to be map 2. With Resonance, who get the first pick choice, meaning Iconic decided after losing the first game that they do not want to go for first pick. They will still play on the second pick choice. They'll give an opportunity for Resonance to figure out what their first choice of Pokemon is and get 2 picks in this Audial exchange. Whew. Cheetar. No, Urshifu we saw yesterday, not much of value. But yes, I would maybe want to see a multi-strike Urshifu. Not a single strike Urshifu. We were seeing a single strike Urshifu yesterday in couple of the games. What's the surrender penalty? I'm not too sure because this is Unite Scrims, right? I don't think there is any penalty for surrendering. If it was competitive games, then there would be. Then there would have been. There would have been a forfeit of the next instant game, and they would have given away the entire series if that happened. If it was not a best of 5 or 7, then they would have lost the best of 3. Rapid Strike ain't meta though. It is not meta true, Beerus, but in perspective of how Urshifu's single strike, multi-strike looks better, you do not find, and yesterday's game is also something that where we did not see much of a value in case it's not a team game. So Urshifu on multi-strike or rapid strike has an advantage where, I'll check Frost, I'll check 1 second. I will check. I'm waiting for an update. Once I get an update, I will talk about it. Single strike, especially in these kind of games, it's very tough to maintain the sense. If missed and messed up, then GG for the single strike Urshifu. Whereas the rapid strike Urshifu has chance of even dodging because it has opportunity of 3 hits, making a quick getaway from there. And then maybe even an eject to top it all off. So it could quickly peel off from a fight and survive. But also on top of it, keep doing minimal amount of damage continuously. We played single strike. Yes. So with this, I have an update. As a penalty for game 2, Resonance will choose side. And also, we are reducing point in overall leaderboard for Iconic. Oh, that's why I was wondering. So Iconic, because of the because of them surrendering the game in between as soon as the KO happened, Iconic forfeit only their chance of deciding the first pick and second pick. So Resonance get that advantage. So that's the penalty. And on top of that, they will have a reduction in their overall leaderboard. So Iconic, that's why I know it could have worked out. It would have been better. Single strike is ideal for utility mon. It has secure, exactly, yes. Single strike is really good for secure. It has unite that can single out a mon and take it out of the fight. Also, it's CC. Yes, that is true. Your single strike Urshifu is, that's why I said your single strike Urshifu has to play a team game. Its damage is too good, outrageously good. But if that damage gets missed, then the Urshifu, it's like a... So I'm more of a safe end of player. So I think in my perspective. And therefore, I generally prefer playing the rapid strike Urshifu. Single strike Urshifu, when you have the confidence, just like how you said, as an individual, plus you bank on your teammates for sure helping you out, that's where it works out. You do big damage, your secure is always good, whereas rapid strike Urshifu cannot do that, but rapid strike Urshifu can constantly keep hitting and doing damage. So it's just... But yeah, currently I hands down agree that the single strike Urshifu is the better one in the competitive circuit. Tinkaton, do you guys think Tinkaton could even be in anywhere close? I don't think. I've barely seen any great games coming in from Tinka. Not too sure. But very soon we are going to be starting our game number 2 of this grand finals. Iconic versus Resonance. Iconic start with a penalty. Nothing in-game penalty that they get. Only one thing is they couldn't decide whether they wanted first or second choice. That instantly, as a penalty, is given back to Resonance, and on top of it, they will face a little bit of points being deducted in their overall leaderboard. No. What is no? No. Okay, I think that was a mistype of you being there. No. I don't think Tinka is going to make way. Sableye could be an interesting. Tinka is very good, but the late game's too late. That is the first time somebody said something really good in terms of wordplay and pun. So, how would you say it? Just sliding it there. Until the hammer gets super large at 20 stacks. Yeah. I think Tinka was good as long as we saw Tinka in that mode. That Tinka mode that's there where you can play with others. I think that's the best of Tinka that we've seen. And that is the annoying of Tinka also that we've seen. Not 20, it needs 60. There you go. Yeah, I've barely played Tinka. Let's check here. There you go, 60 times. After the hammer is strengthened 20, 40 and 60 times. Rock Smash, Gigaton Hammer and Smackdown gain increased range. Think if they'll change it. It depends on where they're banking on the upcoming meta to be moving to. Ho-Ho! I think Ho-Ho is a very interesting choice of a Pokemon. Amazing stuff, amazing learning. Nice. That's what we are looking forward to. We exchange information, we get a lot more idea from each other, and we get better in Pokemon Unite. I want to see Ho-Ho being used. I think even in the international circuit, I saw it once. The only problem with Ho-Ho's Unite is it has to bank on his teammates getting KO'd. Unfortunate. But with this, we are ready for our grand finals. Game 2 with a lead for Resonance Esports. Do they close it out or not? What is the first ban? Should be a support ban. But previously they did not go for a support ban. There you go. An all-rounder Suicune ban. As I said, it was annoying for the side. Resonance were not happy about it. Oh wait, sorry, my bad. It was Resonance who played Suicune. So this time they're like, no, we are not going to give Resonance to them. Yeah, there we go. We are not going to give Suicune to them. When you keep speaking continuously, this happens. You jumble up words. So it's going to be an Inteleon ban again. We end up seeing. So interesting. So basis this back to a complete support ban. Blissey as well as Cliffable. I don't know why they're making that. They're worrying. They're so worried about these support bans. I feel like the healers, that they do not want to give it away. And look at this. As soon as they did not ban Umbreon, they instantly pick Umbreon. Iconic for win. It's tough. I don't know why they're making this decision of support bans. And now you can see they're wondering what should be their decision. Supports, both of these supports shut down a lot of stuff. Exactly, they do. But one main thing that they are banning right now is the opportunity of them having any proper supports, which so far we even spoke about in the previous game of how crucial it was for Disangel to perform because of the supports. Now if they're inclining on Disangel getting a healer and them having a tough time with it, I don't think that's going to be a problem for Disangel. We just saw in the previous game, the final fight, once they understood that at least the team fights are working in favor of Iconic, we know what to do, when to strike, and they striked really well, and they striked hard. No slow bro way. We are really going to be seeing a Cinderace. I would love a Cinderace. After Dragapult, my next best or Pokemon of choice is going to be Cinderace. I've picked it quite often. Part of the draft stats, I guess. They took out the two most elite ones, and now any support the other team picks is subpar. But that also kind of hinders their support and strategy. There's a Dodo. You asked for it. There could be a... Oh no, there's a Greninja. Okay, there's an Umbreon. There's an Eldegoss. We see Blaziken and a Serena. Really good choices coming through. And then we end up seeing a Greninja of all the Pokemons, of a Pokemon that everybody tilts hard on. Any Pokemon that you see in your solo queue, competitive games, ranked games, anybody who's playing a Greninja, they despise them. Okay, next we end up seeing a Alolan Raichu in the mix, who's made its way in. We were just talking about it, along with finally the Buzzwole making an entry with the Mew. You asked for a Mew, you were about to ask for a Dodo, but Dodo got missed. However, Mew's here with the Psyduck and Hoopa. See, here is the Buzzwole. Also, Safeguard Blissey shuts down Buzzwole, so they might want to play Buzzwole. Very smart, Beerus. Very smart. There you go. But they did this previously as well, but they did not bring Buzzwole through. This time, however, they're bringing. Last time they brought in double all defenders with Slowbro as well as Umbreon. Now that they lost Umbreon, they did not even bank on getting a frontline defender. So I'm a tad bit worried on that. Greninja might be good here. It is going to be crazy. The only reason is there's no proper frontline on the side of Iconic, and I'm worried for that. There is no proper frontline. They might be banking on Psyduck, but we have seen Psyduck has not worked wonderfully. Hoopa, we just saw how Resonance were unable to establish a proper frontline with Hoopa on their end. And now with Hoopa going on the other side of things in Psyduck, Psyduck is going to drag Pokemon into their own goal zones or flux zones to give them an opportunity to fight for. But I'm looking forward to the Alolan Raichu. And we go ahead with the grand finals, game 2 between our purple side, Resonance Esports, and our orange side, Iconic. It is again going to be the Blaziken Disangel on the teeny tiny Torchic, who goes to the mid path on the other end. Wait, one sec. What just happened? Did I misread it? Wait, guys, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I am misreading it again after going. I have not seen much of Alolan Raichu games, and I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, hey. So yeah, it has to evolve from Pikachu. There's an evolution line. I'd forgotten about that. That's why all this confusion. I was like, wait, what? Hello? Where did this Pikachu come from? Dropping Electro Balls already. Might use a Psychic with Psyduck. They already have a Psyduck. Yeah, that Raichu central area itself. I was so confused. Hoopa stuck. There it is. Mean look. Hoopa's done for. They don't even care for the Hoopa anymore. They're all inclining on just stacking, getting their early goals done. Same is being done on the bottom path. The Froggy couldn't do much on the bottom. Yeah. That was a 5. It was 4-4. 4 on top, 4 on bottom. Both the teams just changed lanes. Alolan Raichu finds the first, and that is going to be a central area fight. A little bit of an overextension from Combuskin. Not sure for why. But an 8-minute mark, Altaria Swablu fight is about to break off. Yeah, it's a standard 4v4. Oh, Hoopa's hyperspace hole. No, it did not save. It'll only save the teammates. And even the Eldegoss early game again striking hard coming in from the side of Team Iconic. Disangel is worried even to go to his own areas of Excavalier and Siligor to get the buffs. But finally, he does get all of it and evolves to a fully evolved Blaziken. Now, it is a 4v4 fight on the top. Last time, they had just switched lanes. But this time, it is a 4v4 on either paths. Buzzwole is showing like, I'm here. Psyduck has also shown position. Serena, big damage coming in with the help of even the Alolan Raichu. But Eldegoss not looking great. That should be a KO. Eldegoss the first to go. They've used the hyperspace hole for a quick teleport. Players are not looking good. Blaziken down, Serena down, And with that, it is going to be the Umbreon as well. That's a full KO streak that they find on the top and instantly countering the numerous goals that the early game 4-man push that was tried from the side of Resonance gets countered from Iconic, and they push to 137. Greninja, not much damage, but with the double team will easily get the Registeel even before Mew could get close, but the Snarl is doing damage, forcing Mystical Mirage from Mew. While his teammates take the Regieleki on top. Quick hyperspace hole. Trying to drag in the teammates back here. Alolan Raichu committing the Unite as soon as it enters. And Greninja's done for. Chasing them right now. Again, Electro Ball drop. That Electro Ball finds KO on Eldegoss. That's a 2 KO streak. Sai being used to force Serena off its opportunity. And that's a KO on Serena as well. Umbreon, nothing much that it could do here. Snarl being used just to annoy them. Big solar boink on the beam. Greninja's back. But that's an Umbreon. Your front line goes, your game goes for a toss. Eldegoss, however, moves in so aggressively that they had to give it away, but they still take that Eldegoss down. They hit the reset with the hyperspace holes. And that is them back in full control. 171 to 96. A difference of 80 right now where we are sitting at. Blaziken trying to goal on top, but the Buzzwall's blocking it. Hoopa takes hyperspace road to go to the top path. And annoying Blaziken. A 1v1 here. Unite being used. Swole Swarm. Overheat. Put to rest. Oh, what a use of that Psychic. Psyduck and Mew playing so well. Oh, what a use of Rings Unbound. All of them forced to the top. While they were thinking it could be a bottom path push after they won the battle. Hoopa, such a smart game. They do manage to destroy the goal zone on bottom of the side of Iconic, but it was just one goal zone, whereas the goal now has surpassed to 278. The entire top path is going to be too slow for the likes of Resonance Esports. Quickly talking about levels, big advantage on the levels for the side of Iconic. More goals coming in, just 7 more to destroy the goal zone A on bottom on the side of Resonance. Iconic, so much control. Lemon alone trying to take this Registeel, but spots the Buzzwall. Buzzwall just has to catch it. A little late. The double team was quicker. His Shurikens are looking good. Blaziken gets caught out. They do counter and find a 2 KO. Make it a 3 as well as Hoopa gets put down. Not a KO streak, but that's a lot of experience taken away. This helps them level up. On the top, even though Alolan Raichu gets 2. They will get the Regi, but they actually didn't. Both the Regis now look like it could go to the sides of Resonance. And if they do get it, that's really good for them in this 6-minute mark of the game. Buzzwall swoops in, big damage coming through. Swole Swarm missed the target, and Blaziken survives in the tall grasses not for too long with Psychic being used. Umbreon's found. Umbreon is lonely. There's Electro Ball, gets hit by it. And the outburst of electric charge puts him to rest. Hoopa with the Rings Unbound form gets one more. The bottom path under control. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go. A big 30 being used here. That's a good overdunk. Score goes to 313. Just when they thought it's just 100. Only one good push will give us back or get us back into the match. Not happening here. Top path Blaziken. They're making sure Blaziken doesn't get close, but the Queen does. And that's on the Raichu. Psyduck couldn't save the Raichu, and this is going to be a Regi that they secured. Both the top and bottom, as we spoke about it. The last few Regis, they work in their favor. They're trying to destroy this. Unfortunate, they weren't quicker. They thought they could overdunk. Tried to push that Regi towards goal zone B. Did not work. But Buzzwall smashing here. Finds one on Greninja. Overheat does the damage, but Psyduck, he has to help his teammate. Surf, not great enough. Mean Look already used. Buzzwall still trying to survive. Another Surf being used. Buzzwall might just make a move. Is around the hyperspace hole and jumps and dives right into it. No KO given in this final 30 seconds before the final stretch. And Buzzwall back again. Smacks them down into the central area. And that's a KO found. Level 13, 2 of their Pokemon on Iconic at level 13. Only Serena on 14 because of the top path fight. This game, it has gotten a tad bit closer while this fight was ongoing. They've managed to score. They've managed to destroy the goal zones as well. On both top and bottom, it's 205 to 318. And it's time for the final stretch. Big control from Team Iconic. They already have a point in their favor. Sorry, Resonance already have the point in their favor. Big damage coming in with Raichu as well as Psyduck. But Queen ascends again. Raichu should go down. But Raichu is still surviving. Uses the Unite to survive. Hoops Unbound being used from the Hoopa. Hoopa finds Umbreon down. Make it Serena going down. Resonance are losing their footing here. And that's another one. While did Buzzwole go down? It's only Blaziken surviving. Trying to fight this out. Big Solar Beam. Blaziken was counting on the overheat that nobody would have known his position, and that is so much position given away. Yes, there are a couple of their Pokemon who have been knocked out, so there could be an opportunity for going for a last move steal. No Cotton Cloud Crash, they have to go in for an attack, but the attack does not work. All shields in favor of Iconic. This is done. They're trying to still destroy the shields. It's only Psyduck who's gotten closer. Hoopa, I think Hoopa could score. A KO has been also found. Hoopa and Mew both score. Blaziken trying to chase Hoopa, but not for long. The Psychic again used really well. Serena a little too late to destroy the shield. Only destroys after the 100 gets dunked. Another 74 getting dunked, and then next the shield comes up. 12 on Hoopa is as big as well. It gets invincible frames every time for Phantom Force. I think Hoopa was wonderful in this game. He was so smart. Team calling was insane. 20 seconds on the clock. There's nothing. There's just battles that they could maybe win on. That's not going to give them the last mile push. The difference is at 600 to 205. They need to score 400. And not even one of their Pokemon has 100 Eos energy to score. Great Hoopa game. Not just good, man. Great Hoopa game. Again, that Rings Unbound used towards the end helped them survive. The punches being packed from Hoopa in its ultimate form. It's too good. At that point, Hoopa just goes berserk. Great game on either end, but I think this time on one point we were already talking about the supporters' perspective. The healer missing, Ayush could not do much in terms of value and help Blaziken out, and Blaziken could not get much in terms of stacks in the early game, and therefore the game started falling south. Whereas on the other end, Iconic I think played really well. This could have been the similar scenario. This game itself could have been a best of two, ended in the Game 2 if Iconic pushed a little further, because the score difference was not much. They could have destroyed the shields. Nonetheless, they reset themselves, and look at this 11 KO streak coming in from this Alolan Raichu, and Zindabad on that Buzzwole played phenomenal. Hoopa was just too incredible. I think the hyperspace hole was on point. Rotations of the paths were on point. Quick resets to go back to the base, heal and come back into the action so quick. Timing so good. Mew, early game, yes, they tried to annoy it, but once Alolan Raichu started doing damage, they couldn't do anything to Mew. And then Psyduck was always there for his partners. He was there in any kind of fight. 19 assists, 16 assists, 13 assists. There are 3 of their Pokemons with double digits in just assist. Great. I mean, I didn't see anything extraordinary. It's standard stuff. Hoopa as a character does very well in games you're ahead in. I think this game didn't go too early or was not too much in control for Iconic from the very get-go. Resonance were trying their best to fight it off. I think once Serena started making their move back in, it was kind of working. Early game, Hoopa was getting KO'd a little too often. They were instantly putting it down couple of times, but after that Hoopa started playing smart and did not work in their favor, where they did not work on the fight. Psyduck was the best player for the team. Big stunts at the just right times. Exactly. That's the main thing we were also talking about, and especially the way he saved Buzzwole, right, was insane. Healing, you can quickly talk about it. 60,000 good standard stuff coming in from Ayush on the Eldegoss. But on the other end, even though they did not have a healer, right, they were doing their just job of tanking that damage. 65, 117,000 damage coming in from Raichu. Electro Ball and Thunderbolt used really well. And I think big ups on that Electro Ball decision moveset. Anytime, and he was playing very smart on that Electro Ball. He was putting them down in the tall grasses. If they thought they could maybe move to a position where they could be blindsided, instantly hits it up. Hoopa's heal stats don't get counted for portals such. Yeah, you can't do anything about it, right? Hoopa directly doesn't help in healing. It's kind of an indirect thing. It just helps it reset and get back into play. It's basically like you press that reset button, recall button that you have, and you can't account for it. So, but it's a big move. It could have been, if it could be counted in assist. I'm not too sure if it is, whenever there's a battle ongoing. But I think in terms of Hoopa played game where he outsmarted his opponent. So he understood how the team was playing, how the opponents were scoring, how the opponents were moving around, and just beat them on it. So far, the scores super close on both the ends. Resonance Esports on this purple end this time couldn't flip that ray in their favor, even though they got a tad bit closer. But that fight where Hoopa with the rings unbound came through worked out in favor of Team Iconic. Even though Iconic had a couple of their players who were low on HP, Hoopa made the saving grace with the Fury coming through and the Psybeam as well. Final stretch, clearly, legibly dominating from the side of Team Iconic. Even though, as you could see in this graph, majority of these Regis have been taken in favor of Resonance Esports. It is the push and the fights being dealt from the side of Iconic that was super strong. They used to count it, they just removed it in a patch and didn't explain anything. Oh, okay. Interesting. Sad. Sometimes it happens. You can't do anything about it. You as a viewer, as a spectator, as a player, as a fan of it, have to be just okay with it. Okay. Now we just wait for the last and final game. The best of 3 comes to its ultimate decision maker of who wins this grand finals. Oh, if I do full screen, it comes out like this. Okay. Now we've seen a Hoopa, we saw a Serena we asked for. We already saw a Suicune in the first game. Maybe a Gyarados. Buzzwole makes its way back after continuous bans in both the semis that we witnessed. Alolan and Raichu, we were just talking about it. I was a tad bit unsure, but I think the players of Iconic and Resonance are both hearing me. One on another time, one of their players are picking up these Pokemons, changing that drift of the game itself. And it's working out for them. Maybe a Goodra this time? Goodra is interesting with the Dragon Pulse coming through where they can heal themselves. That is big ups. I really like Dragon Pulse. Greninja was also bought in the game, which I was actually not thinking of. Greninja, not a Pokemon that I would have been happy about seeing in the play, but you make it work, you make it work. Who else? Phalanx. The devil could show up. The devil could actually show up. Phalanx was seen in our game in week 1. Nothing here in week 2. So we have an update quickly for all the viewers watching. Grand Finals, Team Iconic versus Resonance Esports, as they are now both at 1-1 score each of the Grand Finals. This is the decider. This is the last game for both the teams to figure out who could be the champion, who could put the best foot forward. And in this, Resonance, the team who just lost in game number 2, being the losers, they get the advantage of deciding who gets to pick first. And they decide it is their privilege, their choice, that they want to go first ahead of this game and look forward to winning it if possible. It could be a close one for them, crucial one for them. Once, first pick worked for them. The second time, the first pick did not work for them. This is the third time, but does it work? Third time's the charm, people say it, but Iconic, their gameplay in first, second have always been phenomenal. There was never a turning point that we could say that, oh, this is where they changed the game completely. Individually have been performing really well. As a team, they've been performing excellently. But pressures do act up on in this last and final game. What is the winner's prize for this tournament? Stalin, this is not a tournament per se. This is Pokemon Unite Scrims. This is organized by Skyesports with the title as Skyesports DOJO. It's Pokemon Unite Scrims. It's open for all, so anybody can come in. There's just a leaderboard for it. It's happening over every week. It happened last week. It's happening this week. There should be maybe in the upcoming probable weeks. They picked stronger picks overall, I guess. Yes. Hands down, yes. They picked stronger ones. Hoopa, Psyduck, Buzzwole, Raichu, Mew are all elite picks. Raichu, I was not counting on it much, but Buzzwole is good. Mew was not working at times, but I think their play of Psyduck and Hoopa establishing the front line with Buzzwole, you could see it was never the Raichu or the Mew initiating any battles, rather staying away from it or straying into a position where they could be safe and instantly move back into the fight once they have a Buzzwole, once they have a Psyduck in the forefront. No problem, Stalin. Feel free to ask any of the doubts. People are there on the chat. Everybody is up and excited as we are gearing up for the final matchup of the grand finals. One last push. Hey, how many of you have played Greedent in your competitive circuits? Not normal casual games. Anybody who's a Greedent player, it's a Pokemon that I've missed out big time. So I guess these rankings will help to qualify to official tournament. No, this is a community tournament and a community leaderboard, which is being done to kind of for players from the community so that they know who are the top teams right now in Indian circuit, while they later down the line fight with the professional Indian teams, the top tier teams of India. So here you don't see the top tier teams or players, all of them playing. Some of them do come in with their newer lineups. They play, they see how it's working out, but it's the best of the best trying their best. It's just a leaderboard. Now, no qualification here, no prize money involved. It's just an active community tournament that's being organized now and then. Community scrims that's being organized now and then. So if you want to be a part of it, there's a link in description of the Skyesports Pokemon Unite community server. Click the link, join, and wait for any other future updates coming in. And also, because you'll be part of the community, you will get an update of any of the other Pokemon Unite tournaments happening, either from the community itself or the people, community members. Hasn't been relevant since 2022. It hasn't been relevant since Pokemon Unite released. I think that 1 year where the Worlds happened in London, after that Greedent has been... There's just Crowley who's played it in the Indian circuit that I've seen. Time and again, he brought it out even in the last international circuit once. Otherwise, nah. Hey, Dragonite! Guys, Dragonite. We saw Dragonite for a secure that the team did pick it up, but that secure did not work well for that team. Espeon could also be a wise choice. Gardevoir could be really good. Psy Shock coming through. No, it came out as the most broken mon ever. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it was relevant when Pokemon Unite released, and that time it was too good. I think majority... if you know Crowley, at that time, Crowley was the Greedent player. Only Greedent he used to spam. Gatlu plays Greedent in tournaments. Oh, I see. Let's see in the Worlds if we see a Greedent. Greedent was too good, and the amount of healing that it could do for itself with its cheeky pouch being there, just dropping little health packs for itself. Insane. Why are these ads popping up? Hello. No, we don't want to become. Thank you. You can go. I don't know about Crowley playing Greedent. He's mostly using the slow scaling mons. In the early, when it initially came out, Pokemon Unite, when their team was the first Indian team to go to the Worlds, that's when it was played. London, he played Serena and a Cram in London, right? I've not seen the games, but at that time, I'm saying, I did not get to see the London games, but because at that time I was casting another game title. I don't know about our early days of Pokemon Unite, whether it be the world stage or whether it be the Asian stage, have never been great. I think 23 was the best for us. From 23 we've been trying to manage. We're waiting for this last game to start. Maybe a Charizard? Cram. We did see a Cram, but not in our dojo, but in the international circuit. Cerilage. Yeah, Cerilage could be a pick. By the way, let me know what do you think about Alcremie, the new supporter? Alcremie, the new supporter. How is your experience been if you've played? Yeah, with True Gravity getting second in ACL, that was good showing this year. We got 3 steps back again. No team made it out of the groups. Yeah, this year of Worlds was very weird, and even the ACL was very weird. Team was really good, and we thought one team would actually make it out of the groups, but a little bit of a mess up, and the other teams got stronger in terms of their playbook. I think the playbook is something that we have to still evolve in our circuit, like big time. Like you could see, right? There have been particular set of Pokemons that are widely used around the globe, but there are some Pokemon choices that teams specifically use when there's nothing working for them. They instantly switch. I love Shorty Alcremie, a midway between Blissey and Eldegoss. Yes. I've not played much. Meta has never been great. You can never count on the meta. Meta always keeps changing, and meta mainly depends on how teams counter each other. That's the best meta explanation that you could give. You cannot bank on saying that right now the meta is all Inteleon. Yes, in terms of stats, yes, but they instantly ban it out. There's no Inteleon throughout the entire circuit. They underestimated talent in ACL. It was the playbook problem. It was the strategy problem. It was not underestimating. You cannot call that, because no team goes into such a big stage and thinks, hey, this is easy team, we'll knock them out. It never happens. It's very tough for any individual player or a team. But it's also the pressure to play on big stage. Waiting for the start, guys. That's all we're waiting for. I'm pretty sure you're already listening to the music. Speedster meta you can't bank on it, man. It's very tough. Speedsters are it's like if you hit with Absol, the crit hits, they work wonderfully. If you don't hit, it's a gun game. But with this, it's time for the grand finals. It is the final last game between these two. Resonance Esports are still going to be on the first choice decision and the first ban. Whereas... Wait. Correct, yeah. Sorry. When these names, right, got a little messed up. And why? Wait. First ban missed? Resonance, hello? They're missing another ban again? Purposefully? Or was there a technical itch? Whereas the Cliffables banned, so there should be a Blissey ban on the other end. We'll wait for an update. We'll wait. I'm not too sure what happened on the side of... they're picking... Okay. You give away a chance of changing the strat or the meta or the build of the Pokemon choices. That's very weird. Let's see what it plays out. I was watching Luminosity Coach. They give all the 5-player mons to master for meta and then figure out what those mon go best with in scrims. Exactly, that's why I said our playbook is very limited. Either in terms of the role or either in terms of the choice of Pokemons which are working. You have to master them and also figure out which works best and create strategies around it. Our playbook is rather a tad bit less. But with this, we'll come back to this discussion at the end of this grand finals, depending on what went right and wrong here. First wrong I could see could be a big decision that could push them back is not banning any Pokemon. Even though they did not ban any Pokemon with the first choice, they go for Umbreon. After that, they come out with the Eldegoss as well as Inteleon. Eldegoss was okay-ish. They got 60,000 healing with it, but Eldegoss with the Cotton Cloud Crash has to find a lot more value. That's a big Unite. That's a big AoE damage that we generally see. On the other end, bringing back the Suicune in. In game number 1, it was Resonance who brought the Suicune. And now, it is Suicune brought from their end along with a Metagross with Psyduck and a Mew. I really like this Metagross. Is something that we've been talking about. Metagross is again one of those all-rounders who have a tad bit of range. Is not a puncher who gets in close range and does the damage. Rather just make sure whoever is around and do the damage. Yeah, exactly. Not banning anything. Giving away Suicune, Psyduck. I have no clue. They have Blaziken. They have Aegislash. Alolan Raichu brought back again. Iconic. They're going to have a field time now. They're going to have a big field time. Aegislash is there. But early game will be denied with the help of Alolan Raichu. Suicune will also try the same. Psyduck will try to keep control. Mew will hold the bottom like its life depends on it, and Metagross will bank on top of that. Where is this angel? Yeah, I'm not too sure where this angel is. That's what I was also wondering. That's why for a second when I did not see this angel's name and I was turning this side, I thought, why are they on the orange side? Then I was like, no, it's correct only. Yeah, their draft is insane, outright outrageous. Whereas here, it's a norm draft. Defender there, ranged attacker there, double all-rounder and a supporter. But this is an insane one. One thing, yes, they would have to be a tad bit worried is they don't have any kind of healing this time. So they have to bank on their citrus berries that they're lying around. Peeling off from a fight, resetting from a fight could work. This is I don't know what Resonance thought. Resonance wanted to walk in like they are the stars of a movie, but do they actually do? The last and final game of the Skyesports DOJO Pokemon Unite Scrims, and it is Resonance Esports versus Team Iconic, both with one game each. Now they play their last in this matchup. The Pikachu and Torchic, both going the central. They will quickly get themselves to level 5 once they're going to make their move out. Okay, very weird. Psyduck rather didn't go top path, moved bottom with the Mew, and it is going to be both the all-rounders on top. The Beldum instantly going in for early stacks. Look at that. Another stack coming in from the Beldum. They gave away their NDD and Beldum is looking for another one. If that was a triple stack, it would be good. Great early game as well. Let's wait and watch of how this works out. Beldum grabs that NDD. Alolan Raichu hiding in the tall grasses. Combuskin as well on the top. This time it's going to be a 3v3 at 850. Okay, it's slowly turning to be a 4v3. On the bottom, because the Umbreon still not evolved, look at this. Late evolution on Umbreon is going to cast them. Nice Electro Ball and so much Chaos Energy with the Metang also evolved. Gossifleur is also not evolved. So many unevolved Pokemons on the side of Resonance. And look at how much control in this early game they already have, and they're not stopping. They're running right into the central area. This could be a problem. Finally, the Umbreon evolves. Sobble also evolves, but the Psyduck, with the benefit of his teammates making it to the central area, they're chasing the Umbreon. Drizzly cannot take up any fights. Metang on the other end, just stacking the attack weight. Look at that. Again, they're making sure they grab any Chaos Energy and experience out of the hands from the players of Resonance. Suicune is still hiding in the tall grasses. Gets revealed by Aegislashes or Honage's damage. Honage is still unevolved to a Duo Blade. And look at this quick jump in. This should be another KO. Metang finds Could be a second one. Whirlpool. And then the Metank again finds 2. Could be a 3 KO streak. Duo Blade evolved, but nowhere to go. Umbreon quickly ejects out of there. Whirlpool used to catch them. This draft is out of control from the side of Iconic. Late evolutions. All the Pokemon choices from the side of Resonance are not completely evolved. Not even a single one. The only reason even for Umbreon I'm saying not all the movesets are ready. So that's very tough. Whereas on the other end we see level 9, level 8, level 6, level 7. Only the Psyduck, and the Psyduck is also level 7 now. Waiting for the Regis to spawn right now. Trying to get some amount of experience before this fight. Aegislash finally fully evolved. Whirlpool. Damage. Froze Aegislash. Psyduck from the backlines trying to do damage. Metank is here. But Inteleon with the last hit secures the 6th ally. Problem could be there, but the Metank doing damage. Could find a KO. Umbreon is super low, but Aegislash is helping out with the shield. Blocks him. And finally there's an opportunity. But look at the difference. 168 to 20. But right now all the intention should be about destroying this goal zone. Overdunking it. But look at this. Unite being committed from the Alolan Raichu. Not giving an opportunity. But Aegislash playing smart. Stacking in between. And finally an overdunk of 30. But an overdunk of 30 yields in their team getting KO'd with the Sai coming through. Top path gone. Make it a 3 KO streak. Alolan Raichu overpowered at level 11 already. It's not even 5 minutes of the game and the Alolan Raichu is at level 11. Level 7 Umbreon. If it plays this fight a little bit further, will get KO'd. Metagross fully evolved now. That was the last line of evolution on the side of Iconic. There is no math, no match, nothing. This is out of control. $194 to $181. Score is double. You're talking about the overdunk. Yeah, I think they right now Resonance are just doing whatever they can. Oh, Metagross. Metagross is invaded. Aegislash trying to chase. Oh, Compute and Crash missed. Countered so well. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Compute and Crash dodged. This could be an opportunity. Some amount of level and experience brought to Aegislash. Oh, nice Ice Beam and Whirlpool. Teammate helps over there. So far, I don't still see the healing being a big problem on the side of Iconic because the damage is outright big. Easily Regieleki secured. But on the bottom, it seems like Psyduck wanted to make a push, but Umbreon said no, that's not happening. And calls back his teammates as all of them move to the bottom path. Regieleki on top will not be given chance to make its move and enter into the goal zone. Six minutes of the game done. Levels now slowly closing up. Till now it did have a difference, but right now level 12 yet to be seen on the side of Resonance. Level 11 is there. Yes, still on level 9 2 of their Pokemons. That's something that they have to quickly change on. Level 12 minimum, especially during the final stretch, should be something that they should look forward to. But oh, they spot the Metagross making a move towards their own open top path. They decide, let's make another move. While Metagross scores a 40, a little bit of a comeback has been staged. Sai committed to try and survive. Nice dodge on the Unite of the Aegislash. Buddies are here. Alolan Raichu spotted. Instant decision of now retreating. But no, they're again trying to strike. This could be a bad decision. Cotton Cloud Crash. Unite being committed from Alolan Raichu. That should be a KO on Gossifleur. That is Eldegoss now. Were backing off. I don't know what the decision was to continue the fight again. A little bit of a kerfuffle that they were not ready for. Very close this battle is going to be. a minute for the final stretch. All double digits in terms of levels on either end. Team Iconic now are thinking about Regieleki on top for this final stretch. Could be a battle on both the ends. Alolan Raichu has already started intertwining in this. Regieleki, his teammates are safeguarding him for completing this. Regieleki adding this as an ally. And they secure it. With 20 seconds to go on the clock. Now they have to figure out if the battle is going to start right now, then and there. Metagross moved right in there. And now slowly backing off. 13 Metagross is big. There's a level 14 Raichu, my man. But nonetheless, on the other end, there are two level 13s, Aegislash and Blaziken. But it's time for the final stretch. Look at the Electro Balls all in the tall grasses. He's just putting them down, laying them down. But none of them are stepping into the tall grasses. Rather, they've made their way in the top. Metagross spotted. On the other end, Suicune. Two all-rounders right now pushing the players of Resonance. A quick dive in from the Sacred Sword does not do damage, but Sayai forced right now. Moonlight being used. Unite committed. They find KO for a KO. It's exchange for 1-for-1, but the health not looking great. It should be a KO on the side of Resonance. White Guard being used, but Aegislash still goes down. And with Aegislash going down, the healer's gone. It's only Umbreon surviving while everybody else is getting reset. Iconic quickly trying to take this away. There's no Unite on this Umbreon. Has to go for the last hit. Goes in for a move. Tries it with a Snarl. And it gets nothing. As Team Iconic take this away. And an instant surrender clicked from Resonance Esports. This game is done. Team Iconic are your champions of the Skyesports DOJO Pokemon Unite Scrims. Week 2. How can you even put a 13 Metagross down? It's gigantic. Oh. They're all going... I mean, that was... They were thinking and they were sought after the Suicune. They spotted the Suicune. But what happened was Suicune jumped away and Psyduck moved in and they jumped on Psyduck. And after committing on Psyduck, they said, okay, no, we have to do this. And once Psyduck was committed, their teammates were able to do the damage from afar. There was the Whirlpool. On the other end, there was the Electro Balls being dropped. Mew with the Solar Beams coming through. Even though they would have gotten, they got Psyduck, there was not much that they had to be worried about. They got 1-for-1 and 1-for-1 as soon as it happened. Everything fell about. Umbreon tried its best to survive. I think Umbreon's Unite got used early. That is the only reason Umbreon survived. Whereas the others, I think Inteleon also couldn't use its Spy Vision. Aegislash, I think, tried. Gossifier's Cotton Cloud Crash might have been missed in that battle. Really good games, commentary by you. Thank you so much, Stalin. Do follow me on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. I am an avid as well as one of the commentators from India for almost all the Pokemon Unite games that are officially hosted in India. And even whenever our Indian teams go abroad, I am one of the official casters that will be on the desk. So make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. Any other further updates of Pokemon Unite in general, the tournaments coming through, I will be giving you an idea about it. But Wolf, I think the Suicune's meta has been being there for the team as an assist. And in the previous game where Resonance bought it first, that was the same thing here as well. It was the same that we witnessed. Damage in the sense, I wouldn't bank on it, this being a complete one-sided game. Because you could see the damage not huge, insane. Like we saw a 130,000 damage, right? From Alolan Raichu. That was not the case here. It's just 40. But on the other end, you can see just at all-rounder of Aegislash at 25. Blaziken surprising of it all at just 15. Ayush on that Inteleon at 19. And I don't know what happened. The biggest of all the mistakes that Resonance did is restraining themselves from banning even a single Pokemon. And that's where they said, I'm going to go all out. I am going to go all out is the decision that Iconic just did. They're too good. They're just completely insane. What a game coming in. Team Iconic, I was worried for you guys after that first surrender. I still stay on my sentence that you could have still turned the game in game number 1 itself, if not for that tilt surrender that you guys did. You shouldn't have done that. You had still 1 minute and 30 to go in that first game. I have had a complaint with Indian casting on Unite games, but seeing you try gauging why they are doing certain things is big up. You have converted me. Man, I've been in this circuit for a long time. I've spoken to players in general. Majority of the players are very close to me. And from the release time of Pokemon Unite, unfortunately, I couldn't start casting from the very start of Pokemon Unite when it came to India. But from the very time when Pokemon Unite was released, I have been playing that game countless number of times. So all this play style, the meta style, right now I'm not playing that meta style of casting. The only reason being, all these are scrims. These players have not been constantly playing these same Pokemons. Rather, they've been changing now and then, as now, in terms of the draft pick that you saw. Otherwise, you would have individually seen me picking and prodding of why was this Pokemon decided? Why did they make this? This is not even in the meta. This Pokemon choice could be the one that breaks them apart. A lot of things. So make sure you do follow me. I'm so happy to see this comment coming in from Ubiris. I really love making sure that anybody who's watching, visualizing and hearing this game has a lot of fun and hears this game, just sits down and feels that enthusiasm that every team has to bring in when they're playing their games. That's my 2 cents of it that I always do. And I love doing it. I will always keep doing it. But now, finally, this bracket has concluded, guys. For real, for real. Yes, man. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you too. This bracket has finally concluded. Team Iconic versus Resonance Esports. This was a really good game. Started game number 1. 192 to 126. That surrender... Again, Iconic, a small complaint, but great game coming in from your end. I think the way your playbook looks is that level of you trying to hit those higher marks, higher levels of Pokemon Unite circuit in India and eventually maybe the international stages. Keep this ongoing. I think in terms of that playbook strat level, I saw that differentiation. Keep this team together. Yes, the world's qualification for now is done, but Iconic, please try to push forward. Try to figure out a couple of the Asian circuits still keep happening now and then. Check with the community people. They will let you know of the other tournaments. This was just the scrim, but there are tournaments that do happen for the Asian circuit itself. So Team Iconic, play them. Maybe even on the smaller scale, but start playing them so that when the next circuit starts for India, you can join and you could be a part of it very, very soon. But hands down, solid game coming in from you guys. Brilliantly played. Keep this strength ongoing. But while the leaderboard, don't go anywhere, guys. We are not done. We are yet to go to the leaderboard. I forgot to tell you about that. One last thing is the leaderboard that we will take you through. Let me put that up on my screen. This is the Hall of Fame. This is where all the champions will be put up. This is where you will have all the details. This is the leaderboard. Let's quickly go to the Hall of Champions first and see where the teams stand at. This is the Hall of Fame. Right now, after matches that we've seen yesterday, matches that have happened so far, what we have witnessed. Wait. Done, you can show. Okay. QRS is right now on top. They have the master, if you want to say. They have the master trophy. I saw some well-connected players on Iconic. Pretty sure they're not missing out on a major tournaments. Yes, I want to make sure that they do not. Yes, no worries, no worries. Currently, QRS, after this is still based on week 1. QRS, they topped the charts. They were the ones to win it out, but they were the first team to be eliminated in this week too. R1DQ, this time we did not see them. Resonance Esports, they made their way through. They came to the grand finals. They missed out on the opportunity, however, in winning the grand finals. Matka Believers, I hoped for them to do a lot better, but against Resonance Esports itself, they failed. Zero Gravity missed their mark today, and it was really good from Resonance again. And I think Matka Believers, Zero Gravity have all gone down to only Resonance so far. are something that people will look forward to. Helix Esports, after defeating QRS, very promising I thought, but missed out on the opportunity on taking down Iconic. Autobots, 6 Sense and Iconic were at the 10th. Oh, sorry, I pressed the back button. We're at the 10th when we started today's day. Now, after today's matchup, we are waiting to see where this leaderboard takes them. This is the official rankings of the dojo, guys. Again, do not get confused. This is not an Indian circuit scoreboard. This is not a scoreboard for the advantage of the next upcoming tournaments. This is just a circuit that is being established for players in our community to keep playing and future become one of those big players that we are currently seeing in these big stages. And finally, wait, it's still yet to update. One second, guys. Let's hope Team Iconic. There you go, and it is. There it is. Our Team Iconic are going to be sitting on top with 120 points. For people wondering how these teams get points, based on your positioning on every week, there is a set of points that teams get. First position team gets 100, the next position team gets around 50, then comes down to 30, 20 and so and so. So this is for all the players who are already in the circuit. They will know about it, and based on the number of wins that you accumulate and the position that you end on, you get the points. Yo, why did it change? Okay, there you go. It's back to proper. Team Iconic sit on top with 120 total position points, 5 wins and goals of 800 and... Wait, 8? Total team goals of just 851? I am not too sure. Please just check this goals, total goals. I think that should be a little more than 851. Or if we are just counting... I think even if we are counting... They should be closer or plus of 1,000. I'm not too sure. We'll look at the goals later. But for now, I think the main things that matter is the total position points and the total team wins. Only in case there is a draw, we go to the total goals. But otherwise, with that only we know. Next, silver goes to the silver trophy goes to Resonance Esports at 110. They also have total 5 wins as a team. Then comes in QRS, who has 4 wins. This is again QRS not winning yesterday in week 1. If QRS won yesterday and made it to semi-finals, they could have had a opportunity with their total position points being maybe closer to Iconic. Okay, then is R1DQ. We did not see them this week 2. Matka Believers we saw, Zero Gravity we saw, Curse Crew we did not, Helix we saw, but unfortunately they went out without not much of a win. They had one forfeit in between, so their win only counts the QRS fight that they had. No 6 Sense that we witnessed today. That is the Hall of Champions. Now we'll go to the Circuit of Champions. This Circuit of Champions is for individual players. First, we'll go to the top 10 MVP players, meaning the highest ranked MVP players based on their MVP scores average, based on their, here, view, it's written here itself for if somebody wants to access. It will be there in our community Discord link. You can join there and check out on the players. Here, players ranked by their total MVP score and performance. So Resonance Esports' Sphere is on top. His MVP score is really good. Then comes in Hope. After that is Iconic's Chaos. Now you could see Resonance was so close to getting their opportunity to winning this series. Unfortunate, a little bit of a miss that they did, and they lost the opportunity. Wait, my chat's working, right? Sometimes my chat just bugs out. Yes, it's working. Okay. Resonance Esports, they come in. Chat works. Yes, GG. Resonance Esports Hope, and then comes in Iconic's Chaos, Kid, Zindabad, Magus, and Wolf. All 5 players almost about to be together, just miss out. Whereas 4 players from Resonance are here on the MVP. So this is the cumulative score. This is the cumulative. So with the MVP, the Chaos, the assist, and the total goals and the damage that they've done, all these scores are cumulatively added rather than the average here, Beerus. So don't get worried. It's not the average. This is the actual total MVP score. So all the games individually, the players got the MVP score that is there. The first one, as you see, next to the Pokemon icon and the player name, next comes the goals, then is your knockouts and assists that you see. This MVP scores, I think this comes on the left hand side. Yeah, this comes on the left hand side. Danger, you will not understand. This is for people who play Pokemon Unite. Give me a second. I will show you in terms of a picture. 1 second. Hey, not this. Yo. Okay, it's showing like this for some reason. Yeah, here we go. Wow, it's taking me to X and all. Bro, I just want to see the image. There you go. So this score at the last that you see, I thought it was on the left hand side. I mean, you can't do much about it. You can't. So this is something like when you take other games in perspective also, right? The other games also, it's the same thing. Your MVP score depends on the number of eliminations, the number of knockouts that you get, the amount of damage that you do. The supports don't. That is how it is. The MVP is very tough in that sense. But nonetheless, it's okay. Let's be okay with it, because everybody has to be represented. Okay. Next, so this is the MVP that we have seen. Bro just texted in English and don't worry, I love you. He's a guy that I know who generally comes to all our streams. He's just trying to play a fiddle in between. That's all, nothing else. So MVP, the total MVP scores are calculated. The scorecard that I just showed you. This is the MVP that will be added for all MVPs. Total games that they've played. Then comes in the total goals also, which will be added, but this total goals will come towards the last. And next, after MVP score, then is the KO, which is the sword, which I'll show you on screen. The KOs will be counted, then the support will be counted, then the healing will also be counted, the heart of the team. True, Virish, true. True. Man, those guys have to stop becoming champions, bro. They're just too annoying. Thankfully, Japan squeezed themselves in between. Otherwise, LG is just winning, running around everywhere. Too annoying. This year also, they're looking too cooked. LG is looking too cooked. That Overlord, somebody has to nerf him. Pokemon Unite has to release a nerf for him. LG is in form. Bro, LG is cooked. I just saw a couple of their games. Insane. Let's go to the sword of the team. MVP is sorted. Resonance Fear is the MVP. Then coming in is Hope. Then Iconic Chaos. Bro, can't help, bro. Beerus, that's very, very sad. I couldn't believe it myself. Okay. Even when the ACL was happening this year and we saw the world's best team who won the previous year champions did not make it to the did not win the ACL. It was a Japan team, but it was a different team who won in ACL this year. They did not make it to the finals as well in the Asia Champions League. So can't help. But now let's move into the sword of the team, and here I'm pretty sure Resonance Esports missed Disangel. 48,000 damage. Sorry, 480,000 damage. Bro, that's a hard pill to swallow. I don't know what happened to Disangel. Maybe he had to go. It was a little too late for him. He had to catch something. But I think maybe if Resonance had Disangel over there, things could have changed different. Fennel, yes, Fennel. Insomnia came second, I guess. And they won ACL, I think, this time. Team Iconic, Chaos with 460,000 damage, just 20,000 away. QRS is Beast. Now, QRS played in week 1. They were the champions of week 1, and Beast is still here at 450,000. Bros, things are crazy. So these are our top 3 in the sword of the team. But you can see QRS have played so good that their players are still in the squad of the team in the top best player individual rankings, just because of week 1 stats. Godzilla at 450, then is QRS's Prime 60 at the 9th position at 330. Then comes in Resonance's Lemon at 420, Iconic Magus at 390, Resonance Hope at 390. Again, a difference of around just 2000 between them. Matka Believers NHK at 380, then Team Iconics Zindabad at 330. This was the swords of the team. Now we go to the shield, meaning the defenders, and it is Resonance. Again, you see, sword of the team, it is Resonance. Shield of the team, it is Resonance. Top MVP, it is Resonance. Resonance, you guys had the chance to win. You missed. Fear at 5,60,000 damage taken. Then comes in Ayush from the same team at 4,20,000. A difference of such a high remark of 1,40,000 is insane between the team itself, even though they played in the same tournament together all the while throughout the circuit. Then comes in Disangel at 3,40,000. After that is again QRS. QRS, I wish I saw you again in week 2, but I don't know what happened against Helix that you messed up, and it being a best of one, you mess up even slightly, ray flip, whatever, gone is gone. That's what happened to Iconic. That's where Iconic even tilted, guys. Iconic could have lost the entire tournament, but they didn't. So that's fine. Then comes in Resonance. Hope 3,10,000. Team Iconic Zindabad at 3 lakh. R1DQ's Melon at 2,80,000. Now Melon is again one of those best tier 1 players in the Indian circuit that we've seen so far. Iconic Kid 2,70,000. These are the shields of the team. Then coming in heart of the team is the healers. Healers of the team, or the assists of the team. And here Iconic's Wolf plays a part at 92 assists. This is the same Svikun that we were seeing, guys. An all-rounder with the best assists coming through. It's not a support, it's not a defend, it was an all-rounder. Then comes in Kid 77 with 71 assists, and then changes into Resonance Esports' Sphere at 68, but again you end up seeing QRS here, Yogi at 66, Incognito at 60, then come in Matka Believers, Ashish at 55, QRS Beast at 53, Resonance Esports then make a mark at Ayush 49, and Iconics last set 2 players come in at Zindabad 47, Iconics Magus at 46. QRS are very low in ray flip matches. I think that's what happened in their game against Helix. They missed out on the opportunity. So this is the circuit of the champions, and for you guys watching this, you could take a part of this Skyesports Dojo. The Dojo leaderboard will be open for all of you participating. It will be done through the upcoming weeks. Through the weeks, this will be happen. Secure diff lemao, yeah. Through the weeks, this will be happening, and all these scores will be updated cumulative of all the weeks. It will not reset every week. It will accumulate all the weeks. Like this is accumulation of both the weeks, Circuit of Champions as well, all the weeks. I hope to see one of you guys in the chat. Your names maybe down the line here in this or in the international big circuits that you start playing. But this was a really good stream. I had lots of fun talking to you guys, witnessing such an insane game coming in from these brilliant teams, right? This brings us to the end of our Pokemon Unite Scrims watch party / casting party, all of it. I had lots of fun. I hope you had lots of fun. Make sure you've subscribed, hit that like, follow me on Instagram as well. I has retired, has no place in this leaderboard. Doesn't matter, man. These are scrims. You can still play. I know Rezo for a long time. I didn't know they improved that much. Bro, you never know who is just completely grinding. Anytime, anywhere around the corner, there will be somebody. Beres, just play randomly on scrims, man. Just for time pass. Find a team or sit with your team and just randomly play some matches. Just for fun. I do that. We generally do that in our in-house office tournaments as well, which will be coming very soon. So stay tuned. In the upcoming streams, there'll be an in-house tournament which will also include Pokemon Unite, where the employees of our office will be playing. I'll be streaming those games as well. I generally stream a lot more games, not just Pokemon Unite, a lot more casual games, story games, which I just sit down, have fun, show the story games to you guys while I enjoy myself and put out a lot of content at the same while. Do check out my videos, and on top of it, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will give you all the updates of Pokemon Unite and any other games happening. See you in tomorrow's stream. My name is Lucifer. See you again soon. Keep grinding, playing Pokemon Unite. Until then, peace.
The bottle, I've been drowning, I've been floating away. Every other dollar that I got in bed, I probably went and pissed it away. I ain't fucking okay, I ain't liking it, babe. I don't even wanna talk, I'm just smoking my haze. I've been stuck in my ways, I've been stuck in for days. I've been staring at the clock as the radio plays. I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Hold my camera when I do not to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. My team really not tame. I'm never